Hey everyone, GameHounds podcast. We are finally back. We missed you. We've been off for 2 weeks. I've been in the East Coast. Nick has not. What did you do for 2 weeks? Well, we didn't do anything.
Man, I just hung out. I played games. Played a lot of
Yeah,
games.
yeah,
Watched TV. It was great.
nice, nice. Uh,
You
I
know
was
what?
in.
House of the Dragon is very, very good.
Yeah,
It it comes out every 2 years, which is just long enough for me to forget how much I enjoyed the show. So every time a new season comes out, it's oh yeah, I remember I really liked that show. I'll wait for it. I'll wait.
mm-hmm,
Then I
mm-hmm.
wait and I wait and I wait some more. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get around to it eventually. And then I watch it. I'm like, holy shit, this is really good. This is like Game of Thrones, all the politicking of Game of Thrones, but not bogged down by like the heavy lore. And it's like, this is really good. And then I know it's going to be 2 years. And by the time season 4 comes out, I'll just be like, yeah, I guess I'll get around to it.
Yeah. I'm. I want to thank you because yesterday I spent the day watching, well, Friday night and some of yesterday, watching Your Friends and Neighbors.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a good show.
Right? It really is.
John Hamm is so good. So good in that role.
He there's
The
there's like a
downside is I'm at the what I think is the season ender where let's just say blood has been matched and I had to turn it off because I'm so stressed out about it.
of season 1 or season 2.
Season 1.
Okay.
There's 2 seasons?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Good to know.
And the third has been renewed. So
It is
more coming.
really quite good.
It is. It's that Breaking Bad light. It's like you get that fun of like some crime that's kind of slowly escalating, but it doesn't escalate into like a mastermind crime saga because it still stays focused on him and his family and just his family struggles, his struggles with his daughter and his son and his wife. And it's like the crime thing is just kind of a seasoning on top of a larger character show.
Mhm. And it was really good for me to watch it this week because last week one of the things that we did was we hired a car in New York City and drove to Philadelphia. And on the way to Philadelphia, of course, you have to travel through New Jersey. We had all day. We picked up the car at noon and we just had all day to get to Philadelphia, which is only like an hour away. So we did a lot of side trips. And one of the side trips that was decided is that we stopped off at Princeton and did a walk around Princeton because we wanted the girl child to see what Princeton looks like, kind of have that feeling of like this is an Ivy League university. You've
And
seen Stanford, we went to Berkeley, you might have been to some other campuses. This is Ivy League University. This is hardcore Ivy League
can she get
University.
into Princeton?
She could get into Princeton if she wanted to. Oh yeah, she has
I
good enough
thought
grades.
I thought that was hard. Like
It is hard. It's
really
very
hard.
hard. She could make a run for it. Let's just say she's also about to start her sophomore year, so there's still a lot of inspiration to be had.
Oh,
But
man. I don't want to think about college in sophomore year. That's
I
that's
know, but
two
you
years
have
ahead
to,
of things. I
dude.
didn't.
These days, you have to think about college in middle school and elementary school.
Yeah,
It's
that's way too much
it's
work. That's no, that's fucking
And she's in Silicon Valley where she's surrounded by kids with tiger moms who have been doing this since they were born. So, is it
no.
competitive? Yes. Would it be hard? Yes. Could she do it? Yes. She absolutely could do it. And she kept on talking to herself saying, I could never go here. It's like, yes, you can. You have the grades. You just have to, dare I say, the two words that have haunted me my entire life. You just have to apply yourself. You could go here. You could go here
Look,
if you
apparently,
want.
based on the news I read, as long as she can read, she's ahead of like 60% of her peers. So that's already
Yeah, yeah,
easy,
yeah,
easy.
yeah, exactly.
AC rate, never too young to think about a gap year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a gap year between sophomore high school and senior high
Hmm.
school. Too stressed out.
So in this show, one of the things that they do is the daughter wants to go to Princeton because her father and her mother want to go to Princeton, went to Princeton. She's legacy. She wants to be on the Princeton tennis team like her father was. So she's in her junior year. So they take a trip, you know, a college tour
Mm.
of Princeton.
Oh, so yeah, you
And
were right there.
they made the exact trip with a daughter that's 2 years older than the girl child. And at the beginning of the trip, there is attitude. There is full blown attitude. And I'm sitting there watching it and thinking to myself, oh, that looks really fucking familiar. It was like having the much better looking people in a nicer car having almost the exact same conversation that went on last week with
Yeah,
us.
Chris is John Hamm. You're Amanda Pete.
Mhm. Yeah.
We know who'll
And
play you in the
and
movie of
Amanda Pete was
GameHounds.
driving. Amanda Pete was driving. I was driving. So
There
it
you
was
go.
almost exactly the same seating arrangement. So,
Was
if
it?
you weren't following, oh,
It says Freebird Guitar Riff is the song track when doing awesome stuff.
it always is.
You want to have a watch
Yes.
party again?
Yeah,
What's going
I
on with
could do a watch
Freebird?
party.
I also have no idea what Half Life news you were
I
talking
have
about.
no idea what you're talking about either. But all right, short recap. We were supposed to fly from San Francisco to New York City to JFK,
Yeah.
spend 2 days there, grab a car, go to Philly, 2 days there, drive back to New York City, and then have 3 days there. That was the plan. If you were not aware of what happened in New York City 2 weeks ago, Saturday, it flooded and look, JFK Airport shut down while we were in the air. So we circled Atlantic City for about 30 minutes and then we diverted to Philadelphia. So we got to
Mm.
Philadelphia 2 days early. We sat in the airport for 6 hours
Oh.
before they canceled the flight. And I understand why they did that. It's all contractual, it's the things they had to do. So we were supposed to be arriving in JFK at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We didn't get into JFK or into New York City to our hotel room until 1:30 in the morning.
Ooh.
And we had to
That's
take
a
an
rough
Uber.
trip.
We had taken Uber for an hour, 100 miles, hour and 20 minutes.
At least you could nap in the car.
I did. I couldn't help myself. I fell asleep. I couldn't help myself. Um, but yeah, so I had to take an Uber ride. And for the record, if you want to take an Uber from Philadelphia to JFK to down to Manhattan, it's $360.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I
That's the
remember
downside.
one time I had to take an Uber across the bridge. This was like right after COVID.
Mhm.
Uh, and I think it was like $80 and I was thinking, "Oh, $80 for an Uber. Holy shit. This is crazy."
Yeah, $360. Now,
Wow.
if let me here's my hot take and I know this. I know this. I've known about this specifically since my first airline job, which was my first job out of college. So since I was 22 years old, I've known this. And this is the first time I've actually been diverted. So I didn't click into it until too late. All right. Your ticket has something called a contract of carriage. That contract of carriage is a contract between you and the airline that says that if you do certain things like show up at this time and do this and do that, we will fly you from this city and we will get you to this city. Now, if you're ever diverted into a different city than what's on your ticket, e.g., you're supposed to be going to JFK, you were diverted to Philly, and they can't get you to JFK on their planes. They have to, because you have a contract from SFO to JFK, to New York City, they have to pay for you to get to JFK.
Okay,
And they
good.
have to cover everything that you spend on the ground while you're waiting. So I had a Lyft receipt for $360 and I sent it to Alaska Airlines and they say no problem. We will send you a direct deposit. Here's the thing that I forgot. It covers everything. Your meals, your bottle of water, any Wi-Fi you need while you're waiting on the ground before they cancel the flight. Every cent that you spend at the airport while you're waiting for this flight to take you to wherever you're going to, that that last little bit or wherever they need to get you, the airline is refunds that. So
Okay.
when you're diverted into another city, and I mean another whole city, like if you get diverted from to LaGuardia instead of JFK, that's still New York City. They're not going to cover anything. What they will do is if you're diverted to Philadelphia and you didn't need to get to New York City, every time that you spend any money at that airport from the moment that you get off that plane, get a fucking receipt and save it. Because we had multiple meals. We spent meals, we spent bottled water, I spent $10 on a bag of candy, I did all of this stuff. And I'm like, ugh, this is costing me so much money. And it was only when they said that they will cover any month, save, send in your receipts, they will cover any cost, anything that you spent at the airport. It was like, fuck, I forgot about that. So
You
get
should have gone to like the
receipts.
fanciest airport restaurant you could have.
You damn right.
You
You
should have
damn right.
splurged. Ah.
Right? Right? Because I
Yeah.
knew that they weren't going to be able to fly us back in. Now,
How's that
the risk you're
airport lobster and
taking,
steak?
yeah, exactly.
Would you say
I
that? I feel like he says that in kind of a joking term, but like airport food, especially from those nice restaurants, they're
can be
nice restaurants. They can be
very
really good.
good. So, understanding that you are rolling the dice a bit. If JFK had somehow miraculously opened up and the pilot said, let's go, then you eat the cost.
Hmm.
So you're rolling the dice a little bit. In this case, I knew JFK was closed. JFK was horribly backed up because if you shove JFK for 5 minutes, it will fuck up everything. And that the pilots were going to time out.
Mm.
And I knew that because it was a transcontinental flight. They were going to time out before they could get the flight off the ground. So, so yeah. I mean, if you had to spend the night in Philadelphia to get out the next day, they'll cover the hotel room. When you get diverted into a different city, save your receipts. And I would not recommend going out for the steak and lobster unless you know the system and you've gamed it out and you realize there's no way we're getting in tonight. And they're going to wait until the very, 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 very last possible moment before they cancel the flight, which is why we spent 6.5 hours waiting for them to cancel the flight. Did they know that that flight was canceled? Yeah. They were like a 99.99999% sure chance that flight was going to be canceled the minute we hit Philadelphia. But they couldn't cancel it because they knew due to the contract of carriage, they were going to be on the hook for all of this money. So the guys behind the desks were like, we're going to wait until it is literally physically impossible for us to fly out because the pilot's timed out. Or, the pilot, pretty much, they had to wait for the pilot to time out, which was another 6 hours. So that's why we had to wait. And people were screaming bloody murder, screaming bloody murder. When they
No.
said that, the flight was delayed but we're not canceling the flight yet, and it had been like 4.5 hours, some woman screamed, "This is America! You can't do this to us!" Burst out fucking laughing because I knew what it was, is that they were waiting for it to be an impossibility to fly and then they could cancel the flight. But they weren't going to do that before it was an impossibility to fly because they were on the hook for tens of thousands of dollars of
Yeah,
reimbursements. Now they couldn't tell people that because you know what would happen. Everybody'd go out and get steak and lobster.
exactly.
Yeah. So that that's what happened. So it was a good education, and I'm so angry at myself because I know this stuff. And it used to be whenever I'm at the airport, save your receipts, no matter what. Save my receipts because you never fucking know when you might need your receipts. And over the last 30 years, I forgot to started to just not do it. And I didn't get any receipts for anything.
Mm,
So the only thing I had the receipt for was the Uber bill. So Alaska was like, no problem. We're going to direct deposit to your account. They were very nice about it. It's not that they were fucking the consumer. It's contract law. It's pure contract law. That's why they call it a contract of carriage. That's what a ticket is you have made a contract with carriage and your ticket is physical evidence of that contract. So
I mean, it still kind of results in fucking you over.
it does, but you have to sort of play the game in a contract like that. It's a bit of game. It's gamification of travel, and it has been going
Ah,
on for generations. This is You have to know how to play the game. You have to know the contract. So, bottom line, we got diverted. We had a very interesting time sitting around reading news in Philadelphia, and so yeah, that's your hot tip for anybody listening.
keep
Always
your
save your
receipts if
receipts
you're
at the
delivered.
is if you're
And
delayed
oh,
or diverted, or certainly if you're delayed or diverted, especially when you're dealing with weather and you're going to a very busy airport, save your receipts. You should just grab your receipts anyway at the airport, no matter what. It just is on the safe side, and save them because you never know what might happen.
yeah. Maintenance
And if
said same thing with
it's,
the BOL and trucking.
yeah, bill of lading. It is
Yeah,
exactly
true.
like that. You have a contract. I'm getting you from point A to point B. If I fail you to get you to point B, I have to pay for whatever it takes to get you to point B. And if that's another airline, if that is a 15-hour Uber ride, whatever. So,
Weather, meh. Good thing that's not everywhere.
yeah. Hey, listen, it could be
Well,
an
how
earthquake.
else was the
It could
trip?
be an earthquake at your
What?
destination. You
How did
never
you
know.
enjoy things when you actually got there?
Well, if you were on our Discord, by the way, please feel free to join our Discord server at any time. You would have heard all of this happening in real time. Um, where is our Discord information? Where's our Discord information? Did I delete our Discord? There we go. Um, you would have heard all of this happening in real time with photos. It was fun. It was fun.
Good.
But traveling with a 15-year-old girl, you are taken back. You can hear your mother's voice from the front seat saying on a long car trip, on pretty much any trip that you've ever had if you were ever 15, saying, one day, one day you're going to have kids and they're going to do this to you. Trust me, I am going to be giggling up in heaven when someone does it to you. Let's just say my mother spent a lot of time. She
If
was
if you don't shut up,
rolling.
I'm gonna smack you with the fly swatter.
Yeah, that too. Um, Fly swatter. We had the spanking
Don't make me
brush.
turn this car around.
Yeah, but it was the one day you're gonna have a kid, and she's gonna
You
do
you
everything
heard
that you're doing right now, and it's
you
going to
heard
make you nuts.
you heard your mom coming out of your mouth, and you're like, "Wait, what the fuck?" Ha.
Oh God. I actually was reduced to crying at one point. I went to bed one night
Oh,
and cried and said, I have turned into the not just my mother, the worst parts of my mother. I'm hearing things coming out of my mouth. I can't stop. And if Claire wanted to brain me, sorry, girl child wanted to brain me right now, I would not blame her a bit because I have turned into an awful human being, a truly reprehensible human being on this trip.
so yeah, sounds like a
But
good time.
I sorted out
But the
once
baseball
I
games are good.
yeah, and but it ended up being a lot of fun. It just took a little like I had to have a little talk to myself moment of like, you need to really dial yourself back
It's a
quite a bit
trial
on
by
this.
fire.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. But we had a really, really good time. We went to see Dodgers Yankees. We went to see. I was singing at the end of the Yankees games. They always play Frank Sinatra's New York,
Hmm.
and everybody sings it, and then they play it over and over again until you leave the stadium. Uh, I had a couple of drinks in me. And I was singing it so loud that people from New York were coming up and high-fiving me. I am a fun drunk, as certified by Yankees fans. But we had a great time. Um, there was an early suggestion.
Yeah, well, I would never buy drinks at a stadium. Too expensive.
They were very expensive. They
That's
were
uh,
they were
that's the whole
very
point.
expensive, but it
The
was well
the
worth
only
it.
option.
But the beer was cheap. Beer was cheap.
Okay.
I did have a very expensive cocktail in a souvenir mug, and it was worth it. Uh, there was a suggestion early on, or the look of horror when we said we're taking the subway, and there was like, we're not taking Uber. It's like, no,
I
no.
guess she's never been on BART.
She's
Oh, why would
she's
she?
never
She
been on
lives up
BART.
on
Right. She
the
lives in the
peninsula.
peninsula.
BART.
Why would she be on BART? Number one. Number two, BART in the Bay Area doesn't even hold a candle to subways in New York. Subway in New
No, it
York
doesn't.
goes everywhere for $3.
Yes. No,
Three
I remember
dollars a ride.
the first time I went to New York with Rachel, years ago when we were dating. Um, that was one of the things that most impressed me. Is like, holy shit, the subway system actually works. This is a
The
tourist
subways,
attraction in and of itself.
the
A
subway
working
system
public
works,
transit
and
system.
it's cheap. It's $3.
Yes.
No matter where you want to go, you can get on the subway and go from downtown Manhattan. You can go from the tip of Manhattan all the way to City Field for $3.
That's the most impressive thing because BART charges you by the distance.
Charges you by the distance. When I told somebody back when I was working at SFO, and Hawks was my co-host, I said that it cost me $25 each way to take Bart to the airport, and he was
Mm,
like, "What? How?" I'm like, "That's what it charges. It's by the distance." And I think it's $8 just if you go in and then leave again. They charge you the smallest fee, which is one station. That's $8.
Oh, yeah.
Um, the other thing, by the way, ever going to New York, here's my other hot tip. If you're going as a tourist, do not, do not buy a tourist boat to go around and look at the Statue of Liberty and everything. Don't. The Staten Island Ferry runs 24/7 every half hour, and it is free.
Mm.
You literally can go at midnight and get a midnight, and it goes right by the Statue of Liberty. Right by the Statue of Liberty. It's free.
It's like a tour boat. It's a free tour boat, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. And I thought of
Nice.
Colin Jost
That
and Pete
that's a
Davidson as I was
genuinely
going.
good hack of like you don't pay for the tour boat when you've got the ferry that does the same route practically for
Right.
free.
That'll take you
Yeah.
across the river and take you over to Staten Island, and then you turn around and you have to wait a half hour. I think you have to wait an hour because the other boat has just left as you're arriving. So you have to wait an hour. Just sit there, grab yourself a smoothie at the place, or ice cream or whatever, or go to some of the shops that are in the ferry terminal and then turn around and come back. It's great. So yeah.
As you said, I remember being in high school in 21 and got to go to a Tigers game. Were
Yeah.
you Was that your first experience buying stadium booze and then realizing, oh my God, this is like 3 times more expensive?
Mm-hmm. The other hot hack is in Philly Stadium. The best food that we found was hands down Philly Stadium. They have
Okay.
something that's called burnt
Oh
end.
no, the teachers made sure I couldn't buy any. Lame.
Socks. Um,
Burnt ends.
burnt end Philly cheesesteak.
Hmm.
So it's burnt tips of, the burnt tri-tip of burnt tips, but
Yeah.
it was a Philly cheesesteak of burnt tips. It is no joke. Absolutely delicious. You will see God. It's a place called Bowles Barbecue. Now, here's the hot cheap tip. At that same Bowles Barbecue, don't get your hot dog at the stands. Those hot dogs, they're fine. They're salty. They're not very good. They're just hot dogs. Go to Bowles and get a bulldog. A bulldog is like half a kielbasa. It's
Is that the one with
huge.
the burnt tips?
That's the same place that makes the burnt tips. A bulldog is huge. It easily feeds two people and it is $11.
Oh. The burger is different than the burnt tips cheesesteak.
Cheesesteak, yeah. The bulldog is essentially a
Bulldog,
hot
okay.
dog, but it is the size of half of a kielbasa. It is
Mm.
monstrous. So it's enough for two people and it is $11. And it is actually a good hot dog as opposed to the
Did
stuff that
you
they
did you
sell.
recreate the Lady in the Tramp scene with the hot dog?
No, but I should have. I should have thought about that. Yeah, the food was fantastic everywhere we went. Went and got Joe's Pizza on Times Square. Um, went to D'Alessandro's and got a Philly cheesesteak. By the way, yes, it is as good as they say.
As good as the burnt end ones?
The burnt end ones, it was a challenge because I knew that it was going to make me sick because I have a problem with pastrami and fatty foods. It did. It was worth it.
Okay.
I liked D'Alessandro's better because it didn't make me sick.
That's fair.
Um, and Second Avenue Deli. The the pastrami is famous, but what's really good is the coleslaw. Holy shit, is that coleslaw good? And their matzo ball soup.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, stupidly good. So we had some good, New York classic food, which was great. Um,
Good trip.
yeah, it was a good
Glad
trip.
glad it was eventually a good time, even
I
if you
I did a
went
lot of
through
walking.
a midlife crisis during the middle of it.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, let me show you my health. There we go. So,
How
so
many
yeah,
miles?
so that's my normal. These are my normal days.
Okay.
All right, where you can see it.
Yeah.
There you are. Yeah,
That's a normal amount of walking.
normal amount of walking. Normal amount of walking.
Mm. So yeah, double what you usually do, going by the calorie
Oh,
count.
more than that, because if you'll notice on this one, look where the scale ends. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah,
The
it
scale
ends.
ends at 600.
Was that I
You
was
move
that
to the next one,
oh
the scale ends at, I don't know if you can see it. There we go. 1,000.
500? Oh, 1,000. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, the next week was like, psh,
I mean, that was the
back
other
down.
thing about uh when we went to Manhattan, um when I went with Rachel. Is that it's just such a walkable city. It's
You
like
walk everywhere.
I could take a taxi and get there in 30 minutes, or I could walk and get there in 20 minutes. So it's like, well, I guess I'll just fucking walk.
Yeah. Yeah. And the walks are great. You see lots of interesting things around there. It's just such a great, it's a fantastic city. But Claire really, really, or the girl child really, really, really liked Princeton.
Good.
Really
Good.
liked Princeton. And Princeton, if you've never been there, it's a bit like walking through Oxford Light. It is a
Never been to either, so I don't.
truly, truly gorgeous campus. Tr- we don't, on the West Coast, we don't appreciate what old school Ivy League campuses are. And Princeton is a very good place to go because you walk on that campus and you're like, oh, this is college. This is old school
I'm so
college.
she's looking at it going, I can get away from the woman who's just belting out songs at the baseball game.
Hmm. Well, she didn't want to go. She's like, I don't want to walk it. And
Yeah.
we were like, yeah, absolutely. We're gonna go across the street and we're gonna walk. And you could stay here and stand on the corner, or you could come with. And so she came with. And when she got onto the campus, she was like, you see the eyes, like, wow.
Maynard had said, well, Edie was in New York and Philly. I was in Seattle in DFW.
DFW, Dallas Fort Worth.
Okay. Yay,
Yay,
work.
work. Hmm.
But then Seattle was a blast meeting online friends.
Yeah. In fact, one, two, three, four, five. Ooh, only five this time.
I turn away so I don't interrupt the show.
I know, and I'm not gonna let that happen. In fact, that's where they are today.
What, Dallas Fort Worth or
Seattle,
Princeton? Oh, Seattle.
Seattle, visiting family.
Ah,
Yeah.
cool.
So that was my New York trip. It was worth it.
Did
Everyone
you
should do that.
did you play any games in the 6 hours that you were stuck at the airport?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I played, well, not so much at the airport, but I did play uh, on the, wait,
The
where
plane
did you
ride?
put how did you, where's the New York trip?
Oh, it's under just click another
Oh,
banner
news
and it'll go
banners.
away.
There we go. All right. Um, I played quite a bit on the plane, enough where uh he had said, you need to stop playing it because I'm finding it annoying just looking over you and seeing you playing the same game
What?
over and over again.
Why would it be
Like, I'm getting,
annoying?
because he keeps looking over my shoulder and it's the same thing. It's always the same thing.
But why would that be annoying? What what kind of person gets annoyed watching someone else play? What were you playing?
Call to the Lamb.
That's what why the fuck would you get annoyed watching this is has he played it?
No,
Well, maybe he fucking should because then you
I know.
realize
I know. And I
why would
did
that
play a
be?
little bit of, unfortunately, you took the banner off and I can't remember the name. The one with the fake 80s games.
Oh, UFO 50.
UFO 50, that's it. I did play quite a bit of UFO 50, and um, he would look over and he'd go left, go left, go up, go up. Oh,
Oh,
and I'm
he's
like,
such a
do you want to
backseat gamer.
try? Do you want to
Such
try?
a fucking
Because
backseat
he
gamer.
said, this is fully your game. This is fully your game. There are 50 of these games in here, and they're all good. They're all really freaking hard, though. Really hard.
Hmm.
Um, so again, I feel like those are both still the gold medal standard of things to play on the Steam Deck. Um, the other thing, I haven't put up this banner because I don't want you to see what it is until the last minute.
Okay, okay. I
So
I will click away from the banners. I'm not looking at them.
okay,
I'm
so
looking at the
I
comments.
I started playing this game in 2016 when it first came out. And I was
Okay.
like, okay, I played it a little bit, played it quite a lot, and finally I was like, you know what, fuck it. This is just seems like a cash grab, and dropped it. He has been playing it consistently since 2016, so he it's essentially the whole family plays it. And I, for the last 2 years, have been resisting because there's a stigma to it. There really is. But last week, when he was going
Games
through New York,
released in
he was
2016.
constantly playing it everywhere we went. And finally, I'm like, I haven't looked at that account since a decade ago. So I logged in and saw it. And since then, I started playing it quite a bit.
I'm looking at games that came out in 2016. It's definitely not Uncharted 4 or Dark Souls 3.
Mm-mm. It's a
Oh, it
mobile
could
game.
be. Oh, is it Pokemon Go?
It is Pokemon Go.
I was looking at this list going, is it Overwatch? Is Edie playing Overwatch? Is it Battlefield? It could be Battlefield. I would not have looked at Pokemon Go until you're like, everyone's playing it. What?
Yeah.
That's actually good to do as you're walking around New York. I'll bet there's a
He
lot of
was
fun stuff
I
around them.
I ran out of battery on my phone 4 times because he's like, "Okay, we're going to go to this restaurant. We're going to go to this place. You navigate." So I'm running Google Maps, which
Mm.
chews up your battery. Meanwhile, he's on his phone. I'm like, "Why are you not doing this? I'm almost out of battery." And he's like, "I'm playing Pokemon Go." He's he collected something like 700 or 800 Pokemon while he was there.
Wow.
It was
Pokemon Go is how you get millions of people to take pictures of random shit.
mhm mhm. So when I got back, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna look at my account, just curious. And then he saw it. It's like, you got some okay Pokemon here. I'm like, yeah, all these
Mm.
are 2016. I haven't looked at this because the account is still there. I haven't looked at this in 10 years. And he's like, well, like, look, why don't you catch that Pokemon? I'm like, I don't want to, I don't, okay. And now let's just say, when I looked at it last weekend for the first time in 10 years, I was level 19. I am now level 39.
Ah.
So, yeah, it's I'm not playing it constantly, but it has clearly evolved in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons why I stopped playing it is because you ran out of Pokeballs, then you had to buy Pokeballs. And it was constant.
Yeah.
You always had to buy balls. You never had enough balls. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I did spend some money on it. And finally, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to more spend any more money on this. Well, they have since tweaked the gameplay. So you're never short of balls, ever. But they have tweaked other things to make
Oh
you
yeah. Oh yeah.
spend a little money. Like, okay, your storage for all these thousands of Pokemon are it's very limited. You're gonna need to expand your storage, but you get such small amounts of coins. So you kind of have to spend some of your own money to do that, unless you want to throw away all of your Pokemon. So I've been doing that. They have a remote, another app. Well, they don't have the app. There is another app that is a third-party app called Pokegenie, which allows you to do remote raids all over the world, which is kind of cool because I
Oh,
could do a
that's
remote raid.
yeah, that is neat.
So I
You can put,
can
huh?
do a remote raid with a group. And one of the parts of the remote raid, the way that they do it is that it gives you the host's friend code, and then you friend that person. And then that person can use Pokegenie to determine which of his friends, which of the people that just added, are supposed to be in this raid, and he could start the raid. He or she could start the raid. So they become a member of your friends list, and they could be anywhere in the world. So I guess it is a tradition is that when you do your raid, you finish your raid, you send that new friend a gift to say, this is where I was from. So I got a my first raid was I got a gift back from, a postcard from South Korea. I got a postcard from Idaho. I got a postcard from the UK. They get postcards from San Francisco of different places. And so you want to get cool things in San Francisco, like cool pictures to be on your postcard. So you're looking for specific Pokestops that have the coolest pictures, like the AT&T Park picture or the picture of the Pokestop at the Bay Bridge from underneath the Bay Bridge. Or
Hmm.
apparently the really hot one in the world is if you go to the Pokestop at the San Carlos In-N-Out Burger, or I don't know if it's any other In-N-Out Burger. You go to an In-N-Out Burger, if there's a Pokestop there, you get an In-N-Out sign that's the picture on your postcard, and people apparently freaking love it.
Hmm. In and
So,
out.
In-N-Out sign. So pick up make sure if you're ever anywhere near an In-N-Out and you play Pokemon Go, get your Pokestop, get an In-N-Out Pokestop and hope that you get a gift to send to someone else that is the In-N-Out sign. People apparently very, very, especially in foreign countries, absolutely love that. But yeah, I mean, it's a good noodler. It has found its rhythm in that you can log in, you catch a bunch of Pokemon, you spin some Pokestops, and then you log out. You turn
which
it
is
on when you go for a walk.
which is the platonic ideal of a mobile game
It's a
when you can
platonic
turn on,
ideal.
play a little bit, turn off, and that's it. Like you
Right.
don't need
You could
larger investment.
play with the Pokegenie. You can go very hard, and I think that that is one of the reasons why Pokemon by Niantic and Nintendo don't stop Pokegenie, is because for those people who get truly addicted to this is a way that you could constantly
Mm,
raid. And every time you raid remotely, you have to have raid passes. If you don't have raid passes, you got to buy raid passes.
there you go.
So they're pretty much okay with that because it gives you an avenue for true over addiction to it, and I could see that being a an avenue for it.
You
But
have to
if you play as intended, it's just a little in and a little out. Maybe you have it running in the background when you take a walk.
you have to now you have to now share your friend code so that
Do I?
people can
Is
play
it
with you.
is it a bad? Is it a SEO? I'm gonna trust you. Is it a risk at all to put my friend code on the stream where other people can see
I
it?
mean, you could also put it in Discord
I'll just put it in Discord. Hey, there you go. If you want my friend code,
because I think
and I
that's
will send
just
you in and out postcards,
I think that
absolutely.
just means people can then send you their
A friend
friend code and
request.
be like, yeah, friend
Yeah,
request. That's all it
yeah.
is. It's
Um,
Nintendo's restrictive friend request system.
yeah. So yeah, just join our Discord. It's the GameHounds Discord. If you can't find it with that link below, GameHounds Discord. It's also in
Yeah,
all the
he put it
descriptions
in
in all of the
Discord.
locations. So yeah, put it in Discord, and yeah, you can be my friend, and I'll send you in and out postcards. So those were the games that I was playing while I was gone. What about you?
I finished pretty early in the 2 weeks. I finished Crimson Desert.
No.
So that game is officially done. I like where it ended up. I kind of like the eventual story of that game is kind of
Mhm.
interesting. It's very clearly meant to be an MMO because the story starts in like one kind of defined fantasy location. And then you go off to this heavily forested area and there's a whole bunch of quests over there. Then you go to this other castle area and there's a bunch of quests over there and they've got their own politics. Then you go to this place that's overtaken by robots and steam bots and there's a whole bunch of quests over there. And it really feels like an MMO where, oh, you're going to go to these different locations and there's like a little bit, there's a big, larger story of like an evil targeting the world and how that affects the societies in each of these areas. And so when you help each of the areas, you kind of help defeat the larger evil and then you go and you fight the larger evil in the end. But it's, yeah, it's definitely got that MMO style storytelling. Um,
Well, it makes sense that it would. But then and again,
Because
all of
it
the
started
really
life as
good,
an MMO.
right. And on top of that, it's a you know, so does Baldur's Gate have that same kind of feel where it's this grand epic story.
Yes, but like Baldur's Gate is well written.
I'll be right back.
Okay,
I'm
when I
listening
say
still.
MMO, I mean like in the same way that with Final Fantasy Online, I think when we played it for a while, uh at a certain point I was just skipping over the dialogue in that game because there's so much of it and all of it amounts to is a fetch quest and I got tired and eventually I was skipping over a lot of the dialogue in that game. That's what I mean when I say this is kind of MMO like is there's a lot of quests and there's like some really interesting ideas, but most of the dialogue is whatever. You can skip it and then just follow the quest objectives. Like that's really all you need to do. Um and it's the world that's kind of the more interesting part than the quests in it. But I'm also as you get towards the end, you can also see like where the edges of the design come in the same way that playing through Metal Gear Solid 5. Oh, that feels like such an incredible game. And then you get to the end and it just kind of ends. And you're like, what happened to the rest of the game? They're in the Crimson Desert area within Crimson Desert. A lot of times, this game has incredible draw distances. And so a lot of times I'm on the opposite side of the map and it's a clear day and I can see these mountains across the continent in the desert. And on my map, I can see they're called like the sun choked mountains. And I was curious, what's in those mountains? Turns out you can't go to those mountains. If you ride your horse towards them, eventually a big sandstorm comes up and blocks your path and basically
Mm.
reloads you out. So there's this whole huge section of the landmass that you're looking at going, I can't go there. Like you literally just reload the game if I go too far. And it's interesting seeing the edges of that because for the most part the game is pretty good at hiding its edges. But then when you do get to the edge, it's just like, yo, this is the fucking edge of the game. Go back. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, okay, okay. Um, but yeah, I still love this game. I loved being in the world. I loved the combat. I loved the visuals. I
Did
love
you
just
like going up these stairs forever?
I did. I went through these stairs a whole bunch.
Jesus.
Hang on, my cat might be about to puke. Um,
Oh, good old cat pukes.
but yes, I one of the things I liked is that is something like this. I enjoyed the kind of platforming challenges of it. I enjoyed just walking up the stairs and just kind of taking in the vibes of the world because this area is really interesting because this area is a kind of Chinese. Oh God, I don't know what those land masses were called, but it's like southeastern China, where you have like the flat water and there's the big pillars of land coming up
Mm-hmm.
out of it. Um,
Like plateau kind of thing.
yeah, that's what this area of the game is, and it's unlike all other areas in the game. And so that makes it a really interesting place to explore because it's so vertical.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just enjoyed hanging out in the world. I just enjoyed like walking up these stairs. I would switch to first person mode and just walk up the stairs and kind of sort of soak in the vibes of the place. And I loved it. Yeah, so that's Crimson Desert.
Archipelago. It looks like a bit of an archipelago in that way. Like lots
Yeah,
of little islands.
yeah, little islands, but like tall islands, like
Mm-hmm.
spires of rock islands.
Got it.
Let's see if this loads and maybe he turns around, you can get a better sense of what it looks like. I don't know if he's not gonna do it. Um,
Okay.
but the new game that I started playing, well, I played a bunch of new games, but one of them is not the Spire, the Seance of Blake Manor.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pop that up. This is one that I finished. This is a game that I talked about before you left because it's in the same vein as The Root Trees Are Dead. That game was all about filling out a family tree, finding who was what family member. This game is very similar, a very similar detective game, but it's specifically a detective game that revolves around you finding the right keywords to fill out a hypothesis. So the premise is that you are called, a detective who is called by some mysterious force. You get a letter that basically contains money and an invitation to Blake Manor for a seance. And it says, I think this woman who came here for the seance is missing. Please come and find her. Please come and find out what happened to her. So you go to Blake Manor, and the opening mystery kind of does a good job of giving you a sense of how things unfold. You have to discover, did this woman, I think her name was Emily? Oh, I think it was Emily. I God, I play it so much. Spent so much time talking about her. Evelyn, there it was. So yes, I'm looking for this woman named Evelyn. And in the beginning mystery, you're kind of confined to the lobby. And so you walk around the lobby, you avoid the usher there. You have to sneak into his office to figure out, like, was Evelyn here? Did Evelyn leave? And what's cool about the game is every time you interact with an object, time moves forward by 1 minute. But when you're not interacting with someone, time stands still. So you
Mm-hmm.
can see here when he chose observations, that took a minute. And he's observing the guy, looking at his, okay, what kind of cross is he wearing? What do his hands look like? What is his expression? And if you want to talk to him, that will also increase time by a minute. Things are time sensitive. So you'll have a session in the was it the drawing room? Someone's going to be giving a lecture in the drawing room about the history of Irish folklore at 3 o'clock. Well, it's 2 o'clock now. That means I have 60 interactions I can make until 3 o'clock comes. What do you do? How do you spend that time? And because you can explore the house without time moving, that gives you a nice chance to really plan your route and to plan out, how do I want to deduce things? Uh, because your goal, once you get into the manor, there's this seance that's going to happen at the end of the weekend. And it collects a bunch of weird people for this magical event. Your job is to find out why each of them are here and help them. So you do that by just going around, talking to people, finding out the deal. investigating some of the landscape, some of the grounds of Blake Manor. You can find some weird things there. You can steal some keys and start sneaking into people's rooms to see, okay, you said X, but if I investigate your room, I'm going to find Y. Then you bring that evidence back to them, confront them with like something they're planning to do, and then help them. And that's kind of the goal of the game, is this constant level of deduction. Find out what people want and find out how to help them. And it's really, really good. It there's so much going on because there's like 20 different people you can investigate between the guests and the staff, and all of them have a genuinely interesting story that you go around, that you have to solve. Some of them you might solve faster than others. Some are very clearly like locked away so that you're not meant to solve their mysteries until later in the game. But I'm sure that if you played this, the route you took and the mysteries you solve will be completely different from the route I took in the mysteries, at least in the order that I solved them in. But what I really love about the game is it's got this really heavy, spooky atmosphere to it. Because as you're going and you're learning about each of the guests, there's a library. So when the guest tells you, "Oh, I'm a Gnostic priest," you unlock Gnosticism in the library. And so you go and investigate that. And that, a lot of the information you find there relates to that guy's story and what he wants. The history of slavery in Brazil is a big plot point for one person. The history, Irish folklore and Irish mythology. Like, you're actually doing a level of research and learning about Irish mythology, Brazilian history, and Gnostic mysticism in a way that feels like, oh shit, I'm like digging into some real esoteric knowledge, but this is actually relevant to the characters, and this is actually helping me figure out what they want. Uh, and that lends the investigation such a it feels so compelling to feel like you're actually getting deeper and deeper into a mystery. Uh, the fact that people from all different walks of life and all different parts of the world kind of combine here. It's got this almost spooky cosmic horror sensibility to it because it's like, oh, all the evils of the world, all the dark past. Everyone's got a dark past, and they're all from different parts of the world, and they're all converging at this one moment. And it feels like, oh, this is like the nexus of all bad things that happen around the world. But you are helping these people. Like, once you find out what they want, your goal is to help them. And so it ends up being this surprisingly optimistic and like really deeply hopeful game about overcoming all of these weird cosmic evils of the world. Not even weird cosmic, overcoming slavery, overcoming oppression and all that. It's like, oh, I'm kind of helping the world heal a little bit. It manages to tell a story in a single location that feels like it has much bigger universal effect, and that's really, really cool.
Mhm.
I loved this game. It The way that it encourages you to sneak around and like look at everyone's. I'm gonna open their drawers, I'm gonna rummage through their clothes, and I'm gonna look at this, I'm gonna look at this, and like, you need to be thorough. It behooves you to just be an absolute thorough sneak. Like, when you enter someone's room, don't leave a pillow unturned. You're gonna rummage through everything. And that gets really fun to do over time.
This looks really fun. This looks
It's
like my kind of game that could really capture my imagination. And if I don't, obviously don't finish it in one going, I'll be sitting there
you
working on
won't
it in my
you won't
head.
finish it in one go. Like, this took
Okay.
me this took me a solid week of playing. I think I put like 25 to 30 hours into it.
But it's something that I will be thinking about when I'm commuting or
Oh,
thinking about.
100 fucking percent.
Oh, I
Because you'll be
love those
like,
kind of games.
you'll be going, okay, okay, I've got this guy, I've got this clue. What can I go? I want to get into his room, but to get into his room, I need to find that key. And I think the key is over there. So I want to go investigate that. But I don't want to do that yet because I want to talk to Mr. O'Meara because I know where he is. And I have 15 minutes until noon. And at noon, he's going to go and give a speech in the drawing room. So I need to talk to him now because I won't have the opportunity to do it later. So I'm going to go talk to him now. And that kind of time management mystery deduction is so good. And like I said, since time doesn't move forward unless you interact with someone, that lends a level of like you're sitting in someone's room going, I've got 10 minutes until 2 o'clock and I want to do something at 2 o'clock. So I can interact with 10 things. What 10 things do I want to investigate? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And
You have
then
to be
you're
very
like,
deliberate in your actions, deliberate in every interaction that you have with
yeah.
people.
But you also want to be really fucking thorough because some things are like pretty well hidden. So you're like, okay, I can't look at those pile of clothes. And I probably shouldn't because it's just a pile of clothes and there's usually nothing in a pile of clothes. But there could be something in that pile of clothes. So I'm going to come back at 2:30 after I'm done with that other thing and investigate the pile of clothes.
Um, uh, I could see this being incredibly annoying in that way. But, I also like the fact that you have to be methodical and
Yeah.
intentional with your investigations. Now, question, did you do any save scumming?
I
Because this sounds like a game that is just save scummerific.
yes, I did, but not that much. Because what you also realize is that if you try to min max your time, you can get to a point where, oh, I've done everything. Like I've it's pretty forgiving. It's like, okay, I've got time to talk to people, I've got time to investigate things. At the very, very end of the game, there's an hourglass that you have that you can in what the what's
Did
that
something
sound?
just turn on? That's on your end.
What the fuck is that?
It
What the
sounds
fuck
like
is
you
that?
started a YouTube video. It's not me. It's not on my end.
I know, but I don't know what that is. Hey Google, stop. No, but I don't even know where that's playing from.
Are you playing a YouTube video somewhere behind you in one of
No,
your windows?
no.
Take off your headset and figure out where it's coming from.
Okay, okay.
This is weird.
It was my phone. It had started playing a podcast.
Oh, okay.
Oh, anyways, hang on. Give me a second to close some windows. I got to turn on the AC. It's hot.
Is it? Not that hot
Yes.
over here. Well, you're also got, you know, banks of windows that turn your whole apartment into an oven.
Yes. Um, but yeah, what were we talking about? Seance. Seance is really good.
Save scumming.
Yes. I there are hourglasses that you can interact with in the hallways that will allow you to skip an hour. So if you really just want to skip time forward and go to that seminar, you can do that. I didn't usually do that because I was trying to really min max my time. But the very last hour before the seance, I skipped it because I thought I've kind of done all that I can. I've interacted with all the people I can. Um, I've got nothing left to do. And so I skipped that last hour and went to the end of the game. Um, so I think that it does give you just enough space to like you don't have to min max it to see everything. You can complete all of the mysteries in one playthrough. Um, but like you have to be a little deliberate. I didn't 100% the game. Um, but I got an ending that felt satisfying enough that I didn't want to 100% the game.
Are there multiple endings?
Yes, because
Mm.
so right away, you're the very first thing when you get to the mansion is you like have to solve the mystery. Is Evelyn still here? Um, and one of the things I did, oh, okay, I'm going to sneak into the bellhop's office to investigate. Turns out he was still there. So he caught me and he kicked me out. And when he kicked me out, I got a game over screen that said 0 of 27 people survived the seance.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
okay.
So what you realize is as you go through and you help each person and you either help them investigate the thing they want to investigate, you kind of help them in whatever way they need helping. Some will decide not to go to the seance, and then some will get something that protects them at the seance. And so, as you complete each of their objectives, you'll get more and more signs of, you know, 3 people will survive the seance, 5 people will survive the seance, 10 people will survive the seance. And you can max that out, but also, like, maybe you don't want to max it out.
Interesting. Okay. I'm sold. I'd sound like an ED game.
Yeah, it's a
What did you play it
really
on?
cool game. I played it on Steam Machine. I spent the whole game going around using the Steam controller, and it felt really good. And it was really nice to be able to play this in my living room.
Yeah. Yeah. The Steam Machine. Man, it could not have arrived at a worse time for me financially,
Yeah,
but Jesus, I'm glad I got it. It really is the epitome of convenience. It's the thing
I
you didn't know that you needed to complete your life, but it does.
so I also saw, and my next goal, uh, this YouTuber had a video where he was going, looking at the mod for Baldur's Gate 3 that
Mhm.
turns it into third person.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Um, and he was showing video of it, and it looks like The Witcher. It's like, oh, when you get into combat, the camera pulls back overhead. But I thought, oh, this looks so good. So I downloaded Baldur's Gate 3 onto the Steam machine, and I want to try to figure out how to install mods because there has to be a way. It is
Yes.
just a PC. Um,
Yes.
but I want to install that mod so that maybe I can go back to Baldur's
It's
Gate
probably in
3.
the Steam Workshop.
I'm sure I haven't looked at it beyond downloading the game, but I want to go back to Baldur's Gate and play it in third person.
I'm I'm absolutely 100% down to play Baldur's Gate again with you because
I mean,
it,
I would pick up where my save last left off, which was at the end of Act 2, because I still never
okay.
played through Act 3.
Well, we can have multiplayer
Mhm.
in your game. I don't have a problem with. Or can you? As I recall, you have to start a whole new game to play multiplayer.
Maybe?
As I recall, that's why we had to start over in a whole new game.
They've also patched the hell out of it since then.
True. True that.
But
Um,
also, I don't have much time because October, no,
November.
yeah, November, September is coming. There's a lot of stuff coming out in September that I want
Yeah.
to
Well,
play.
everything that didn't want to release in November is releasing in September and October. So it's going to be a very busy couple of months.
I was looking at my schedule that the game releases, and I thought, you know what? I could play everything. I can play everything. I can. I've got time.
We should put together we'll put together for next week. I'll put together a list of release dates for games, and we should probably talk about the last quarter of the year, that what our lives are going to be looking last third of the year, September, October, November, December, what it's going to be looking like. Because this is unlike any other year with the release of Grand Theft Auto and everything kind of clearing out the calendar in order to avoid it. It's going to be a very interesting
Yeah.
couple of months.
Oh, Ezio says he's not going to get GTA 6.
Really, why wouldn't you get GTA 6?
How
Although we're
dare
waiting for the
you,
trailer.
sir?
I know.
How
How
dare
dare you?
you?
How dare you?
I'm offended. Like, really? You waiting for a trailer to do what? Like, what is it? Is the trailer gonna sell you on it? Is it not gonna sell you on it? Like, people, you're already gonna buy it.
The
Don't
trailer's
pretend.
already, yeah, you're gonna buy it. The trailer's already
Doesn't appeal
supposedly
to me.
any
That's
day
fair.
now. There's general consensus in the rumorverse that any minute now we're gonna see the trailer.
I think diehard GTA fans are
Yeah.
fucking crazy in a way that makes other crazy people look sane.
Yep.
Because they're looking for clues in social media posts for a trailer that like Rockstar doesn't even need to put out. They
He
don't
says he
need.
hasn't played a full GTA game since San Andreas.
I mean, to be fair, I think that was. Oh no, so yeah, you wouldn't play 4 or 5 or the stories. I never played any of the stories, but I mean, I could see that those games were more goofy and fun, and then from 4 onward, they started getting a little more serious and
4 is still a gold standard for me. Mostly because it was completely unexpected. San Andreas, yeah, before they were kind of goofy and fun. 4 was when it actually became The Sopranos, when it actually
yeah,
took a serious turn and started to tell a serious story. Without, I mean, there was still the goofiness you brought to the table, but
yeah, and like it was still a satire of America, but yeah, that was when it got serious. 5 was okay. 4 sent me to Saints Row instead. Ah, yeah,
wow,
you wanted the goofiness.
yeah. The
You wanted
four
the
four
fun
was
gameplay
yeah,
goofy.
Saints Row was for people who saw 4 and was like, bring back the goofy.
Mhm. Yeah, Saints Row is old school GTA.
Here's the big question for me when it comes to GTA 6. All right, Laszlo. Laszlo has been around since
Oh,
3.
he was the radio
DJ,
announcer.
radio announcer.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Absolutely freaking love Laszlo. Laszlo, he was in 3. When would GTA 3 come out?
Oh my god, when I was in high school.
2001. That was 25 years ago that Laszlo was first introduced to us, and he has been in every GTA since. Laszlo's
What about him?
old. Laszlo's
Mm.
he is a real like personality. Laszlo is old now. I can't imagine Laszlo will sound like Laszlo, or moreover, that you know, I think he's still alive.
Will GTA 6 even have radio stations? What is a radio station? Or will you
Yeah,
just have a
true,
collection of podcasts to
true.
listen to? AC Rate says, serious for
Laszlo
people who weren't fans of
Jones.
the franchise, Pharrell GTA 4. Why don't you like GTA 4?
I love GTA 4.
Yeah, and then Ezio says GTA 3 is retro. It absolutely is. That is a retro game now.
So Laszlo was a writer, producer, and voice actor. And after being on GTA in 2001, he ended up getting a show called The Laszlo Show on Sundays on WXRK FM in New York City.
Really?
Hmm. He was on for 23 shows, and then the station ceased all terrestrial radio.
Ha!
So then he went to a uncensored, a Sirius XM satellite radio as part of their Saturday night virus lineup on The Virus. So let's see.
Oh, he's saying it's literally the definition of retro. A video game becomes retro through hardware obsolescence, discontinued active platform support and the passage of time, typically 15 to 20 years.
Yeah. So he
Oh,
started with the Grand Theft Auto series. He worked at an advertising agency as a writer and producer along with Reed Tucker, who is now his talk radio show's producer on advertisements for a variety of consumer related product. Since Grand Theft Auto 3, he co-wrote the radio stations in the games with Dan Houser. So he was an advertising guy who was turned into a voice guy, turned into an actual radio personality because of Grand Theft Auto. So I
no,
believe
The
he's still
Witcher
alive.
3 doesn't also qualify as a retro game. The Witcher 3 is not a retro game.
So, and also Laszlo left Rockstar Games in 2020.
Okay, we're having like two different conversations.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, what about Laszlo? Like, do you think he's going to be in it?
He left Rockstar in 2020.
Yeah, then there's a solid chance he's not in it.
Yeah, which would be the end of an era to say the least if
I mean,
Laszlo wasn't.
they'll have other shock jocks in on the
Yeah,
radio
but
station
it's
for
Laszlo
sure.
is Laszlo. It's a GTA Radio is Laszlo. So I'm if he's not there, I'm going to be a little sad. But if he is there, he's also 25 years older than when he first did this. Like his voice will have changed. If you
Yeah.
I've only been in this show for 15 it was is 17 years now and my voice is different, really different than when it was when we started.
Also, I'm impressed you remember Laszlo because I played all those games and I did not remember.
I loved him. I loved him. That's Kevin and I would play that game together, couch co-op, so to speak. He's sitting next to me and we would just drive and he was looking at the paper map and telling me to take a left or a right. And we would
Huh.
just drive around and listen to that radio station and just laugh our asses off the entire time.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're special
That's a unique.
especially with cop chases. With he's my map man. He's my literally my navigator. Go left, go left. I'll go two. Okay, two intersections. Go right.
That feels like a really unique point in gaming time and just overall tech culture that like yeah,
How do I get to a freeway?
we're
How do
going
I
to
get to
drive
a
around this
freeway?
open world listening to the fake radio using a paper map to navigate.
Yep. Yep.
Ah,
GTA, if nothing else, GTA is a fantastic way to trace technology, to trace
yeah.
gaming culture, to trace human culture.
Yes. And then as you says Witcher 3 came out in 2015, but it's still actively supported.
It
That's
is.
why it's not a retro game. Is that I can
Yeah.
buy it on all active services. I was actually looking at the well when I re-downloaded Baldur's Gate onto the Steam machine.
Hmm.
I on my library, The Witcher 3 was right next to it. It's like, oh, RPGs. And I
Hmm.
thought I could go back. I could start The Witcher
You
3.
you should
I
you
want to
should
start
start The Witcher 3.
I want to I never beat it. But like
I
they
never
got
did
the
either.
DLC. They've got the DLC coming out next
Hmm.
year
Hmm.
for Witcher 3. I was like I could play some. Instead I started playing a different game that I'll talk about another week.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, the fact
So
that I'm looking at The Witcher 3 on my new Steam machine and my old PlayStation and going, I could download and play The Witcher 3 on these right now. I don't
hmm
think that game counts as retro just yet.
yeah.
It's getting DLC in
Yeah, if
2020
you can't
fucking
it
8.
you can't get yeah, it's not a retro game if you're getting DLC.
So now, question: does that mean
Hmm.
if Nintendo comes out with DLC for Super Mario Brothers, all of a sudden Super Mario Brothers isn't a retro game?
Sorry, I have to clean my camera. Uh no. I still think that that's a retro game cuz retro I think is a function of one uh support and continuing
Yeah,
DLC and
continuous
so
support,
continuing
hardware
continuing to work on it.
obsolescence is a big one.
hardware obsolescence. I think that it also is a factor of gameplay, the type of gameplay it is, that it's no longer in fashion. And it also is a function of graphics, what it looks like.
I don't know if that counts
I think it
anymore.
does. I think it does. I don't know that when you're talking about the way things look at that old, even if they are continuously supported, they're still pretty retro.
I mean, it's
They're
got a
not
retro
post retro,
style. UFO 50 is a post
post
retro
retro.
modern game because it's
Right.
designed to be retro, but it's not retro. But they look retro.
Right. And they play retro. They're
Yeah.
they're they're designed to be retro. And that's why I say that the term retro game really can't necessarily just be when it was made. It also has to be an element of its content, like UFO 50, which I
Yep,
wouldn't
you
call
got
a retro
content.
game, but I would call it a post retro game because it's designed to
I
simulate
mean,
retro games.
also you can buy it on modern machines,
Right.
which is that's also one of the definitions is the hardware obsolescence.
True.
That's why
Hardware obsolescence by definition right there makes it.
GTA 3 is because you cannot play a PlayStation 2.
You can reach that retro classification by many paths. That
Yeah.
is one of them.
Anyway,
Is if it's on
look what
an
you
old
did. Look what you
console.
did, Izio. You
Yeah,
derailed the
he's
entire podcast.
well done, sir. Do we
Um,
want to hit the news?
yeah, hit the
All
news.
right. Let's. Oh,
That's
you
what
know
we've
what we
been
never did? We never
playing.
started the show. Oops.
Oh,
I'm out of practice here.
we'll start the show. It's a late show.
Yeah, no. We'll just hit the news. Let's hit the
I can
news.
get many PS2 games on my PS5. That means put PS2 games in the long retro. Not necessarily because they originated on PS2, and I do think having the original console no longer available matters. But Witcher 4 came out on PS4, and PS4 is still readily available,
Mm-hmm.
unlike PS2.
Right.
At least that's my bullshit excuse.
Let's hit the news. This is the GameHounds News, the news, views, and commentary of the week in gaming with Gamer Edie and Nick DeNicola. And our first item is, we have 2 weeks worth of stuff. And I
Yeah,
didn't pay attention to gaming news the
I've
entire
got
time.
I've got some good ones.
Yeah?
Um, I don't know if anything jumps out at me. Well, okay. Let's start. Oh, let me actually go to the news
Well,
banner.
let's hit the big news. The
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
big news, I would say, this week was less than a month after Sony announced that it was no longer, and it's very soon would no longer be issuing games with discs, making everything only available online. PSN went down for an extended period of time, essentially making all of the games that are digitally available on people's hard drives completely unavailable to them. And
So,
this
what's also
has
funny is that delayed the EA Sports FC Championship, their esports World Cup event. Uh,
Oh, it happened on that day? I wasn't aware of what day it actually happened. It
it
happened
was
on.
it was day 3 of the FC Pro World Championships at the Esports World Cup. So
Oh
just
no.
imagine like, Brazil versus Portugal in the World Cup. And I'm sorry, we need to delay this because our network is down.
Yeah, television network went down, so we can't do it.
Uh-huh.
Mhm. Yeah, this is guys, this is what the digital future looks like in that it is I've been a supporter of digital downloads since the minute that they were available. I found them incredibly convenient. But now that we have no other option but digital, this is what your future is going to be like. That they can literally take your games away from you because your games don't belong to you. And it even if they don't choose to do so, a system failure, and systems will always fail. A system failure may mean that your games are not available to you when you want them, or heaven forbid, ever again if something really catastrophic happens to the network. This is why I'm constantly pressured like, why don't you put your pictures on Google Cloud? It will free up your hard drive on your phone. Well, yeah, that's great until maybe I forget to pay my bill and they just delete everything. Maybe I lose access to my Google account for some reason, or maybe just Google shuts the fuck down. I have lost every single photo I've ever owned. And irreplaceable photos in some cases, like Kevin's photos. I can't get those back.
Yeah, back those up.
That's that's not acceptable.
Backups.
Is it likely? No. Is it possible? Clearly, when PSN goes down and large swaths of people cannot play their games. You know who could play their games? People with discs. Even the discs phoning home is a problem. And this is what has been said since the beginning about the phone home DRM is that it's great as long as everything works. But the minute it doesn't work, it's a problem.
Yes.
And moreover, and this is my issue, is that despite this being a known issue for many, 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 many years, there is no legislation to
Well,
protect the
yes.
consumer in this. If you buy a car and you pay for the car and you pay for the car in total, the dealership can't just decide one day that it no longer supports the car and take the car away from you because your car belongs to you. You bought it. It's now your property. Digital games are never your property, not under the way that current legislation is written. And I don't have a problem with the concept of digital downloads. I don't have the problem with the concept of cloud saves. What I have a problem with is that currently, as the way legislation stands, we have no protections. Your purchase is not really a purchase. You are leasing it. And that is
Yeah.
not made clear. And if they decide to do whatever they do, whether it be intentional or unintentional, there is nothing we can do about it. There is no court of law that we can take our complaint to and say, hey, we paid $80 or $70 for, or $120 for this game, and you took it away from me. I want my $120 back. No, there's
AC Rate
nothing.
has a
You get
good point
nothing.
that digital doesn't mean requiring online service. It's freedom from specific printed media. Insist on the right to back up what you want and buy games that allow you to do so.
Right.
Yeah. It, it's
Exactly.
it's an online requirement, not
It
the
is.
digital format itself that is the issue.
Well, the current digital requirement is the issue currently because we don't
Interesting.
99%
He
of the
also says your
games.
purchase was always a license. I linked to a good historical lesson in Discord.
Right, that's the problem. It was always a license. And that, but you had an alternative. You had a way to get that game that wasn't just a license, that was actually ownership, and that was the disc. Now, with
No, he's
no
saying your
other
purchase was
alternative but the license.
just a license. I thought that to mean that it's a license when you buy a disc. It's just the way
It's
it's
not a
handled.
license to buy the disc. When your game is on your disc is your disc. You can always find ways to play your disc. That's the reason why they want to get rid of discs.
No, he's saying no, you did not. There's a
That the discs are only a license?
yeah.
Well, they were a license if you didn't have the entire game on your disc.
No, it's the disc is just a license. Even the physical disc matters less. Oh, thank you for putting that link. Lawful masses with Leonard French. You don't own your PlayStation games anymore. I'm trying to find that link here. Trying to find that link in Discord. Do, 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 do.
But it doesn't negate the fact that people are purchasing games and they don't actually own their games,
Search.
and that those games can be revoked and there's no recourse, no legal recourse for you.
And this is only
Legislation
a
needs to be made.
distribution method.
All right, maybe, but regardless, that needs to change.
There it is.
That needs to change. That's where the Stop Killing Games guys are coming in and saying, look, you,
Yes. Although, also, not to negate your whole point, but
but
Xbox went down, killing access to some physical games.
oh, really? How did this happen?
So
I've been out
in
of
the
town
other
for 2
week,
weeks, so I missed a lot.
Xbox, which is no longer called Xbox Line, it's just called Xbox Online Infrastructure, which is so much more awkward to say. But it went down like the PSN did. Um, uh, they have Van Vliet, who works at Xbox, actually chief of technology, Scott Van Vliet, posted a lengthy explanation, which is actually pretty nice. Said it was due to an external licensing service that began failing, triggering a host of related issues. But some people said that it was preventing them from playing disc-based games, that they would put them in and get the same error as it did when trying to play an online game.
Well, that makes
Uh,
sense because
and
the
he
disc is a license.
exactly, see, AC Rith.
Hmm.
Uh, but he says we're looking into reports that some players were unable to access games using discs as expected during the service interruption. Disc-based entitlement checks should not prevent players from accessing their games, and this is by design. So apparently it's physical won't save you. But also, I kind of like that last sentence. Disc-based entitlement checks should not prevent players from accessing their games. This is by design. So it's by design that the disc-based entitlement check doesn't check if you're entitled to play the disc-based game. The name of the variable isn't
Is
doing
not
what it's called.
is yeah,
The
yeah.
fact that the name of it is disc-based entitlement check is like, no, that's checking to see the very thing. So, yeah, that kind of helps AC rate this point that even if you own a disc, you don't own the game, and you can still be locked out of the game, even if it's physical. There's got to be a way to back up the game off of the platforms or some sort of
Yeah.
backup for the platforms.
Yeah,
It's
especially when we're buying. We are theoretically buying, and moreover, buying movies. Games, I could see it, but things like movies where they can literally just go onto your hard drive and rip a movie out.
yeah.
That's not okay. So this is kind of our dystopian future, is that we are putting all of our games, have put, not putting, we have put all of our games at the whim and the will of PlayStation and Xbox and all of these, and even Google, these services that may or may not be around, whether by their own design or by other design. I mean, if you think about, if you wanted to throw the world into fucking chaos, bomb PlayStation networks.
No, that won't
It wouldn't
throw
it
things into
wouldn't
chaos.
cause it wouldn't cause infrastructural chaos, but it would cause social chaos.
Not really.
Wouldn't it? I mean,
Mm,
how much of people are screaming and crying over being out for 6 hours on Sony's end
yeah, but
because somebody
that's
uploaded
online people.
the wrong bit of code that
That's
didn't
online
pass
people.
checks.
You know how online people will complain about the wind changing directions.
It wasn't
Like
online
actual
people. That's the thing. It wasn't online people. People couldn't access their games that were single player games.
well, yes, but they're complaining online. That's what I mean. I mean larger you're talking about like larger cultural issue, larger cultural disasters, larger cultural PlayStation small potatoes.
PlayStation is small potatoes, but it would certainly cause enough chaos that a lot of people would have their lives disrupted by this. And it would do it in such a way that is dubious of whether it was actually an attack on, a particular nation.
Yeah, I think you're overestimating PlayStation's cultural reach.
Possibly.
Roblox will interrupt more people's lives.
Oh God, Roblox. Oh my God. If you took out Roblox's servers, can you imagine the chaos within families? It
That's
would destroy families. How to
that's
destroy
more of a
the
thing.
nuclear, how to destroy all families in the United States in one fell swoop? Bomb Roblox's servers.
Oh, you know what? You know what? Like, okay, this isn't good because we're talking about
Wreck
like
an entire
terrorist attacks.
generation of children.
If you're gonna go to all the effort to bomb a server infrastructure, just do Amazon's and take out the internet itself.
Well, sometimes you don't want to take out everything. You just want to sow a little chaos. Sometimes you don't want to start a war. Sometimes you just want to fire off a firecracker at a very inconvenient time.
Okay, let's move on before we get on a watch list.
Okay.
But yeah, somehow both network services suffered outages within the same 2 week span.
Mhm.
And to their credit, like they both of them were up for like after 6 hours. So
Mhm.
like overall, not that big of a disruption, grand scheme of things.
Mhm.
But it does just raise larger issues of ownership and access and all that stuff.
Mhm. And risk. So, what's your next item?
Um, yeah, let's do this one. Sony repromises that they have enough memory to make it through fiscal year 2026.
I saw that.
And I think
And then the bottom drops out.
there are two ways I think you could take that. So the specific quote they have is regarding the impact of memory market conditions on PlayStation 5 hardware. We have secured the quantity of memory necessary to meet our projected sales volume for fiscal year 26, and there is no change to our plan for hardware profitability for fiscal 26 to remain similar to fiscal 25. So basically, we got enough backup to make it through the year. And I think there are
You
two
just have
ways
to pay $900 for
there
it.
are two ways you can take that.
Yeah.
One is that we stocked up a whole bunch and we have not worked through that inventory. It's like, yeah, we stocked a whole bunch. We thought ahead, we planned ahead, and we still have a nest egg that we can sink into.
Mhm.
Or you can take it as since we jacked up the price and hardware sales fell drastically, we're not expecting to sell that much for fiscal year 26. So we kind of, you know, let's find a positive way to spin low sales. We have enough memory for to meet demand. We will absolutely meet demand for the sales because they're kind of low. But that's not what we're saying. We can just meet demand
Right.
because we thought ahead and we stocked up, not because we lowered demand by raising prices.
Did they
So
say that they have enough memory on hand or that they have enough memory because they have signed long-term contracts going into 2026 to meet their demand, which means we have pegged uh, chip prices for at least until 2020 through fiscal year 2026.
I mean, I think either way, the end result is the same thing, right? If they're under a contract to
It
pay,
is.
if they're under a contract to pay 2025 prices for RAM because they signed that contract in 2025, like, yeah, they're going to pay the same amount. They've already paid the contract for whatever the memory is for the PlayStation 6,
Mhm.
right? They're already working on those chips. They probably paid out the tooth for that memory deal. But for the PlayStation 5 memory, we're good. We're good. Thumbs up. We cool.
But the you're right. Functionally for Sony, it makes no difference whether they actually have them on the shelves purchased sitting there or if they have made a contract that says we're going to purchase it at X price. But functionally, it may have a issue because if during that period of time chips start to become more affordable, it probably won't. But if they did, for whatever reason, like the bottom files out of the AI market, and now chips are plentiful, if they have signed a contract at a higher amount than what they could have gotten it currently, then that is going to, for the entire marketplace, affect all chip prices. It's going to artificially keep that chip price high.
And that is a problem for the PlayStation 6, not the PlayStation 5.
You think so?
100%.
Okay.
PlayStation 5 is like, get there. That's we don't care about that.
By the way,
It's
did you
cool.
hear the one of the few publicly traded chip companies released their earnings just recently, and they made $10 billion more than the GDP of Iceland? One company.
Not surprising. I mean, like on your point, I think Micron has said like we've signed contracts for fulfillment through like 2028.
Hmm.
So like through 2030, some long-term time. So like, oh, even if prices go down, we have locked people into contracts for high prices.
Right.
Whether they stick to those contracts if it becomes cheaper is a much bigger question because at a certain point, it's probably cheaper to just break the contract and go with Bob, who's manufacturing his own RAM if the bottom drops out. But
I wish
um,
Bob made his own RAM.
yeah, Bob Ram
Hmm.
or Ram
Texaco
Bob.
Bob. Texaco Bob in the back of the station cranking out RAM chips, baking up those biscuits every day.
Um, but yeah, so I yeah, that's a problem for the future. Like overpaying for something when the bottom drops out. But I feel like we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah.
Oh, Chinese DRAM maker CMXT is now worth more than Intel after blistering Shanghai debut.
Hmm.
SanDisk Micron feel the heat.
Hmm.
I feel like okay, my like big picture prediction. I feel like this will be a turning point in US China trade cuz Apple was asking, "Hey, hey, President Trump, we could really use some of that Chinese memory, some of that cheap, sweet Chinese memory to ease the prices. Can we import from China?"
Hmm.
I think this will be a dam that opens that up. And once that happens,
Yeah, it's all over. Then
mhm,
then all your base belong to us.
we get Chinese electric cars over here. He's like,
Hmm.
oh shit, I don't have to buy a Tesla.
And they're better too.
That's
Apparently,
what
the
that's
Chinese,
what I mean.
everybody says the Chinese electric cars are so much better than the cars that we have in America.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
Um,
Um,
So yeah,
so
Sony. The
speaking of,
point is, Sony says they're fine for PlayStation 5. If they raise the prices again, it's not because of the memory. It's just because they need the cash.
mhm.
They need the cash.
Speaking of needing cash, you like that one?
Yeah.
Xbox finally revealed what their price hikes are going to be in the UK. Now, as you recall, with the Xbox announced a month ago or so that they would be raising the prices. They told us what the prices were going to be in the United States. It was a huge, huge, huge price hike on the Xboxes here in the US. At the time, they had said that it would be a worldwide price change, but they didn't actually say what the price changes would be anywhere other than in the US. Well, they have finally released what the prices will be in the United Kingdom and Europe. They were revealed this week, and According to users over on Reset Era, Xbox Series S and X consoles have seen their prices increase 40% in Europe. So the 512 gig Xbox Series S, the digital one, is going to be 499 euros or 429 pounds. That was up from 349 euros or 299 pounds. So that's roughly the equivalent of $580. How much is it here now?
I think it's 600. The Xbox Series S?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Xbox Series S price. I believe it's okay, $500.
Okay, so it's
No,
500
current
and currently $500.
wait, current retail price 512 gig is 400. Okay, no, I think it's 400 to 450.
Okay, so it's $580 in the Europe and the UK. Now, that was the easy one to swallow. The more difficult one to swallow, the disk drive version, the 1 terabyte Xbox Series X. It was $599 euros, 600 euros or 500 pounds. It is now 800 euros or 670 pounds. So that's just over $900, which is an overall increase of
And
about $230.
which one was that for?
That was for the Series X 1 terabyte with the disk drive.
Okay, Series X with the drive.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's it in the
Yeah, yeah.
US?
The last price hike got the Series X to 800 in the US, 800 euro in Europe, and 670 pounds in the UK.
Right. That's the 800 in Europe and 670 pounds in the UK. That is just about $900.
Yeah. And so you're saying now that got jumped up again.
No, that's the new announcement of the price.
Oh.
They just announced the UK and Europe prices. They had told
Oh.
us what the US prices were when they announced that there would be worldwide price hikes, but they never said what it was going to be in UK and Europe. Now they're saying what the
Oh.
UK and Europe ones are. And their price increase is significantly higher than our increase, like 40%. So over there, it's going to cost about going up from about seven $670 was what it was before. Now it's more than $900 for an Xbox Series X, 1 terabyte with a hard drive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, as bad as we got it, Europe and the UK got it way worse. Way worse. So on that note, I will also back up with my next story. We know that these things were happening. It's also happening in the wake of 1,600 layoffs at Xbox. And if you recall, Microsoft announced record earnings the last quarter. Well, there's been a little bit more of a deep dive in their financials. It seems that Xbox financials, specifically, it's actually hemorrhaging cash.
Hmm.
Um, so let me go back to my story here. Okay. Um, the fourth quarter earnings showed a 10% drop in content and services year over year, a 13% drop in Xbox hardware. So If you look at the entire year, though, Xbox revenue has decreased $1.7 billion dollars, or 7%, driven by declines in Xbox content and services and Xbox hardware. So essentially, Microsoft is doing fine, but Xbox itself dropped. It lost. Well, it dropped, it didn't lose money, but it dropped its revenues by $1.6 billion dollars in the last year.
I like, yeah,
Which is
yeah.
why Asha
That's
Sharma went on the hack and slash and price increase tear that she did, is because their revenues, are they still making money? Yes. Are they making a lot less money than they should? Yes. To the tune of $1.6 billion decrease in in revenues since last year compared to last year.
like, yeah, like we knew this.
We
I
knew this.
I also want to know what was everyone when they always talk about uh oh no, I don't want to close that window. When they talk about these, they always go year over year. Year over year. What was it
Right.
last year?
Because
What was last year?
you need to see increase year over year.
No.
You
No.
don't.
What I'm saying is um
Publicly traded companies do.
no. No, I don't want to see year to year. I want to see quarter to quarter
Mm,
because going year to year, that's like 3 data points that you're skipping. I'll bet if you look at quarter to quarter, you see like a pretty nice decline. It's like, okay, yeah, that's right in line with projections. Year over year, you can have, we did great. Now we're doing bad. Oh, we did great. Now we're doing bad. It's like, no, look at, I want more data points. And so the quarterly financials always give you those more data points.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, so it always bugs me when people are like, "Oh yeah, it's the revenue is up year over year." Well, that's after it's been going down for like 2 quarters. Or
Well,
like
we
it's
know
now
that the
up year over year. What, like I want to know the
yeah,
I
and
want to
you're
know the
comparing,
actual
and it's
details.
not, yeah, I mean, also
It's
comparing quarter to quarter
2021.
is not exactly fair because you're going to have sales cycles. You're going to make more money in the holidays, you're going to make
That's
less money in the summer.
that's the point. Okay. Here we go. Xbox hardware revenues quarterly to oh wait, I can share my screen.
I mean, I've got the fourth quarter earnings year over year, comparing same quarter last year. And that was a drop by 10% in content and services year over year, followed by a 13% drop in Xbox hardware.
Yeah, okay. So we're looking over on the far right in the Q1, Q2, Q3 of fiscal year 26.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can see in the middle of that Q2, I think Microsoft's Q2 is the holidays, which is why you always see a spike in their Q2 sales because I think that's our December period. That's like
Right,
all the holiday spikes.
right.
Um so you can see like they had a pretty good spike, but yeah, outside of those spikes, the Q1, Q3, and Q4 have kind of been steadily on the downslope.
Right, right. Yeah, as it's well, I mean, the numbers are that the year-over-year growth for Q4 2025, so 2025 compared to 2024, that same quarter, content and services had a 13% quarterly growth year over year. So comparing fourth quarter 2024 to fourth quarter 2025, they grew. From 2025 to 2026, they're seeing a 10% drop. So
Hmm.
they are definitely seeing a lower drop. And if you look at your graph, you can see that even I mean, we haven't really hit the holiday for this year, but I would imagine that the holiday is going to be pretty well, no, we have hit holiday for this last year, but we'll see it next year. Will be in next year's numbers will be the holiday growth. I would imagine their holiday growth next year is not going to be that great,
Yeah, fiscal year 27,
which would be this
Q2, fiscal year
Q2,
27.
which is
Yeah,
December of 2026.
yeah. That no, you're right. That will not look very good.
No,
Um,
it's all looking bad. Which is now
it'll
when you
also
see it
it's
like
like
this, when you see like huge, huge Christmas numbers, and then 2024's Christmas numbers, not that great. 2025's Christmas numbers, really not that great. Then you're going to start, you see why Xbox purchasing Activision was so detrimental because they purchased Activision back when they were seeing the Christmas numbers. And I'm just looking at this Q2 just as a reference point because everything else and all other numbers are sufficiently also inflated and up. You start seeing like they were doing some pretty good numbers in 2020, what is that? 2022, 2023, and 2024. That was when they bought Activision. And all of a sudden, those numbers started to tick down. And
I mean,
that
I
was
don't
also right about the time that Game Pass became a thing as well.
no, Game Pass was a
Oh,
thing
that's also
since the
hardware. You're
beginning.
also looking at hardware revenues as well.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah, this is hardware revenue,
it's
not
just
overall
hardware
revenue.
revenues. Right. So
Okay.
you're seeing the console really starting to peter out. And I think that's a function of the age of the console, number one. That's also a function of the economy,
Yes.
very big. But most importantly, it's also just a function of that Xbox is not really as competitive in the console market as PlayStation was, and certainly not compared to, I think, Steam Machine this Christmas. When you compare Steam Machine this Christmas versus Xbox this Christmas, I think you're going to see a big difference. You're going to see the effects of Steam Machine on
Mm,
Xbox sales considerably. Considering that, yeah, Xbox is cheaper, but for a couple $100 more, now you don't have to pay online prices. And it's the same machine for all intents and purposes.
yeah.
So
It'll
it's
be
a,
interesting. It's
it's, yeah, I
also
mean, now
it's
you start to see where Asha Sharma is in all of this. Don't get me wrong, I have very little sympathy for her, but you can at least see where her brain is at when she's making these bad decisions. That she's inherited kind of a real dumpster fire as far as Xbox is concerned. And when you are seeing revenues, overall revenues of everything so far this year decrease by $1.6 billion and you haven't hit even done Q4 yet, that's a pretty steep decline from
yeah,
Q5,
but
from
like
2025's numbers. And
I don't
2025's numbers weren't all that
say
great anyway, as you saw on that graph. 2025's numbers were pretty dismal.
and so it makes the whole uh oh, Obsidian, you're gonna make a Fallout game. We probably won't see it for 5 years.
Yeah,
So like will we even get to that point?
yeah.
Xbox has been in a rebuilding phase for the past decade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pretty much ever since
Yeah, yeah. Don
he
Matrick. Don
Don
Matrick
Matrick's
killed
legacy,
Xbox.
John Matrick's and John Riccatello's legacy is ongoing. Like, I mean, we put it at John Matrick's feet. Don Matrick was bad, but it was John Riccatello.
Who was Riccatello? He was
Was
he
it?
was
He was
EA.
right, and then he went to Xbox, didn't he?
No. Talking about Phil Spencer?
No. Let's see. He went to
Yeah.
Unity, he went to EA. I thought he was, who did Don Matrick take over from?
Um Oh, I don't remember.
Let's see. Let me take a look
I don't
at
remember
the
that far back.
timeline. Where's the timeline here? All right. Don Matrick.
Took over
Ig-
from Robbie Bach.
Robbie Bach. Okay. Yeah, that's when Xbox was in its prime, Robbie Bach.
Mm-hmm.
So
I didn't
yeah,
even
yeah, I
know
mean,
who
I take
Robbie
it
Bach
back.
was
For some reason, why was I thinking Riccatello?
because he's also a shitty CEO.
He is, oh God. He is the poster child for shitty CEOs.
Yeah, him and
Um,
him and Matrick.
yeah. Well, Matrick had just one. Riccatello just failed upward his entire career. Um, yeah, Matrick. Yeah, no, take it back. It's at Matrick's feet. My bad. It's all Matrick's fault. He really, really, really fucked that whole system, and they're still reeling from it. Phil Spencer has spent his entire career trying to recover from what Matrick did. Now Asha Sharma is going to spend her entire career trying to recover from what Phil Spencer did, who did what he did because he's trying to recover from Don Matrick. It all comes back to Don Matrick.
Yep.
Go fuck yourself. All right, next item.
Okay. I'll get to more of the fun stuff at the end. So I don't know if you remember the game Last Sentinel. It was shown off at a Games Fest a couple years ago. It
I
was
do.
10 cents funding an ex Rockstar led development team to make a Japanese cyberpunk GTA like.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Jason Schreier has a story out about how the whole game has laid off 80 people. The developer has
Ooh.
they shift development direction after they have gone to meet with Tencent, and Tencent is sort of backed out because development is not
Really?
coming along. Um, let's see. So first of all, Lightspeed, the developer behind it, was trying to make a Rockstar-like game with a fraction of Rockstar's staff. Games like Grand
Mm.
Theft Auto have teams in the thousands. Lightspeed only had a few hundred. And so yeah, it was initially announced in December 2023. And earlier this year, the studio held a pivotal playtest for Last Sentinel that received near unanimous negative reactions. They presented the game to Tencent's executives in China who were not impressed, and at the same time were reevaluating the company's global gaming strategies. Tencent gave the studio an ultimatum: put together a better version of Last Sentinel by July or else. Uh, Lightspeed brought in a veteran game designer who had been helping with Tencent on other games, and apparently that extra work helped, but it didn't help enough because when they showed off the game recently, it was janky and it didn't hit the quality bar that Tencent would have for a project that is pitched as their version of Grand Theft Auto. And so when the deadline arrived, Tencent expressed concerns that the game was too risky for the current market, and that yeah, some of the staff will be reassigned while others will receive severance packages. And
Yeah, I
so
remember seeing
it
this and
looks
thinking,
like
I actually like this, the look of this game. I'm quietly excited about it.
who knows if we'll see it.
Yeah, we're not going to see it. That's not going to happen. Sorry, it's dead. Está muerto.
Which now this is the second game in addition to the one from the ex Yakuza dev that was announced at a Games Fest or a Game Awards and was then subsequently canceled.
It was
And so I
announced at
feel
just this
like
last, wasn't it this last Game Awards or
Last
Games
Sentinel
Fest?
was 23.
Really? Has it been that long? Ugh.
Yeah.
Where did 2 years of my life go? 3 years of
Um
my life.
but I feel like now this kind of puts a damper over all those award shows, all those announcement shows, because you're going to be watching these trailers going, "Oh, that game looks really cool." Who knows if we'll ever see it?
Right now, I think that any trailer you see is up to suspicion. If it's anything more than 1 year out, who knows if it's going to get come out
Yeah.
at this
Any
point.
trailer is kind of got
The
this
whole
cloud of
market is so
uncertainty on it.
so volatile, so unsure. And any of these corporations, and they're wont to do that. They've got every reason to do that given the economy, the world economy right now, is to just pull the plug because so much has changed within technology right now that and the thing is it's unsure. That's
Yeah.
what happens when you get situations where you can't trust prices, you can't trust projections. This this is what happens. And that's the case in video games, that's the case in beef prices, that's the case in any commodity. Is when you've got wildly fluctuating prices where no one knows tomorrow whether the price of X, Y, or Z is going to go up, whether it be because of tariffs, because of shortages, because of wars, because of geopolitics, shutting down straits of Hormuz. If you don't have a certain sense of security of the way that the world is going to work in 1 year, how can you possibly trust projections more than a few months out? And this is the risk of having an unstable economic, social, geopolitical environment that we're in right now.
Yeah. So,
And this,
would you like some stability?
yes, please give me some good news.
God of War Lao Fei was announced for February 16th, 2027.
I think that you can trust that. Being just coming out in 27, just a few months,
Uh
less than 6 months.
an announcement, yeah, 6 months in advance. I feel like that's trustworthy.
The trustworthy.
When they showed it off with that 30-minute gameplay demo.
Mm-hmm.
They got to have a lot of the game ready to do that. Um and I remember people were speculating, "Oh, we would get that sooner than we thought because the social media team said, "Oh yeah, God of War Lofe will have a disc," which meant that it had to come out before 28,
Right.
and that turned out to be more true than anyone expected.
Yeah.
Also, this kind of
Unquote.
this kind of fucks over Fable.
When
Remember,
does Oh, that's right.
Fable
Fable
comes out
moved.
a week later at February 23rd. And remember, Fable
Yeah.
moved from its November release date to get away from Grand Theft Auto,
And
and now
then
they're a week away from a God of War game,
ugh.
which is unfortunate because Fable really needs the help. Fable needs everything it can.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna lie. I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm a weirdo because I was never really into God of War, but I was into Fable. That it might be that those two markets are different enough that it won't affect them nearly as much.
Maybe I think they're both big budget AAA games, and the market for big budget AAA games is just kind of incestuous and small as it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hey, I'm excited because we'll get to play this game sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
I
but it looks
appreciate
great.
I appreciate when a game is coming out close enough that I don't have to forget it exists by the time it comes out again,
Yeah,
right? Last Sentinel, I forgot that game existed.
I did too. But I remembered being excited about it when I heard the name.
Mhm.
The power of the name, it's not having something long-winded and you can easily forgettable.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good. And you'll be playing it. I probably won't. Like I said, I never really got into the God of War series. I did purchase one much, much, much later. Like, what was the last one? God of War 3?
Ragnarok?
Was it Ragnarok? No, what was the one
Yeah.
before that?
God of War. It was
What
called
was the
God of
one with
War.
his son? What was the
God of
son's name?
War.
Oh, it was God of War. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the one I purchased. And I played it a little bit, like a very very little bit, and I didn't really get
No,
into it.
that was
Didn't.
a great one.
I know.
That one
That's
was
why I
very
was
good.
like, okay, this is the one that I want to get into God of War with. And I started to play it and I realized I could care less. I do not care about this kid's son and I kind of want him to die.
Aw.
And it didn't
Would you feel the same way now?
now that I'm a mother,
Uh-huh.
probably one freaking eye roll out of that kid and I would kill him myself.
Oh, The Last of Us? The Last of Us hits differently now.
Would it? Does she
I
eye
don't
roll?
know. I don't know.
Does she eye roll? Because if she eye rolls, she's dead to me. Oh man, I just never thought that that particular, and I was the queen of eye roll.
It takes a
My mother
long
is
time, but
laughing.
that boomerang has come back.
My mother is just raffle stomping right now up in heaven. She is cackling. She is laughing so hard that it would kill her again if she were still alive.
So,
I mean,
yeah,
truly, truly,
right.
I understand now why I got slapped. A lot. I there are moments. Mm, I can do this, right? I can do this. I can do this. I'm
Yeah,
going to look
sure.
back at this one day, be
Sure.
sitting with her and be going, "You were a fucking nightmare."
Sure.
Yeah. I heard about what a cute kid you were, and I had to take it on trust because by the time I met you, you were not.
Um, do you have another story left?
Do I have
Because I
another
got
story?
I got one that I think is interesting. And ACUS says, I remember starting to play a new game with the cow costume. Was that God of War? I don't remember a cow costume.
The
I
only thing I
played
ever played
two.
with
I
a
don't
cow
remember.
costume was Saints Row. I love that cow costume.
I don't even remember that. But yeah, I've got one more story that I think is pretty big news.
Okay. Which is
Um,
you, of course, you put it at the end like a true author instead of a journalist.
yes. So,
There you go. I gave you an eye roll.
oh, remove. So the new owner of Nexus Mods. So, okay, last year Nexus Mods changed ownership for the first time in like 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that made a lot of people a little nervous because whenever someone new comes in, what's going to happen? And right now, he sent a letter to the community about how he wants to change the platform of Nexus Mods, and it actually sounds really interesting. Uh, he says, for 25 years now, the platform has been modeling mods as files. Mods are not files, mods are systems with dependencies, conflicts, load orders, versioning, environments, all that complexity. Everything that has been making you angry over the years can be attributed to one factor. The platform models your mods as files. Moving forwards, this will change. That okay? Uh that Nexus Mods he wants to upgrade Nexus Mods so that the site manages dependencies, setup validation, and more to make modding more reliable for everyone. And he says that basically in the future he wants installing a mod to be as easy as like going to Spotify, which made me think this could be a really interesting turning point to make basically the Steam of mods.
That's a kind of a genius idea because
To
mods with Steam Machine going into living rooms for the average non PC gamer,
mhm.
the concept of mods is very complicated. You have to kind of figure out like what's the Steam Workshop. I'm not gonna lie, even I mean I still struggle with the Steam Workshop. The only thing I've ever really gone into the Steam Workshop for is CK3 mods, and I was only forced to do that because I fell in love with CK3. I not into mods. It's always seemed like this gray zone of like then I have to download stuff and then I have to make it work and then I have to if you made getting mods easy, and the workshop tries to do that, but it is very much dependent upon the actual game developer of whether they want to make it easy to include mods in a game. If you could just do that to where I just go to one place and I can download a mod and it gives me instructions of how to put it up there, great. And moreover, this I think would be the magic ticket, the golden ticket for that, is if they could curate mods. Because as I have found with Crusader Kings 3, you get mod developers who make a good mod, and then you have a bunch of copycatters who make shitty mods named
Yeah,
exactly the same thing. So you
curation is
have
always
to
the challenging part.
right, you have to get a PhD in investigation to find out if this mod that everybody says is the best mod for this game, is this the mod that I wanted or is it that mod? Like I have to like look into reviews and I have to look to check do language checks to make sure that it's not like a foreign language version of that mod that somebody else did based on this guy because this guy didn't speak Chinese or this guy didn't speak Finnish or whatever. It is a it is a the mod community is very challenging for the non-tech inclined, and mods just make a lot of games better. If you could do that where it was actually curated, we knew that we weren't downloading malware onto our laptops or our Steam machines, that we could trust it, and that it was easy to understand, easy to identify if I am getting the right mod or the wrong mod, that it's not just
Yeah, just
most of the
make the
names.
process simple.
Just make it simple. Simple like Apple App Store simple.
Yeah.
Even Apple
So
App Store is a little bit junked up right now too.
I
But
think
yeah, make
his
it
his
Apple App Store easy.
his goal of kind of simplifying the process, making it like a button click, and presenting that in a way that's different.
Why
I
didn't
think
we
that
think of
sounds like a
that,
cool
Nick?
idea
Why didn't we think of that? It's a great
because
idea.
because we rarely use mods.
True.
The
But
last game I
every time that
modded,
the reason why we don't use mods is exactly this reason.
well, it's because I mostly don't play on PC games. But the last
Mm,
game I modded was Hollow Knight,
mm-hmm.
and I played that on the Rogue Ally. And I remember going to Nexus Mods, and it was relatively easy of finding a mod that I wanted. Some of them would say you have to restart the game for this mod to take effect, so I knew I couldn't use those. But other ones I installed that basically added more checkpoints.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, hey, you're going to download this file. You want to copy this file into this folder. And I did that, restarted the game, and that worked. But if there's a way to download it, have it scan your computer, and install it automatically in that folder, that's
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Yeah. Convenience.
Yeah.
Convenience is king. Ease is king.
Also, King is AC Wraith for playing as the cow.
Oh, no, 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 no. I've got a better one.
Oh, you've got a better picture?
Yeah. Take that out. Get rid of that thing. Get rid of that thing.
Okay, give me the cow.
Give me a second. We have to wait for it to start.
You could fast forward.
I guess I could.
Oh, this is a full
There we go.
playthrough
There it
with the
is.
cow
There's the cow.
costume.
Yep, it's a
Ah,
full playthrough with the cow costume. The dairy bastard costume.
That's so funny because the this is just like a highlight from what gaming used to be because
Yeah.
I feel like the 2019 God of War is way too serious. It took itself way too seriously to put Kratos in a cow costume.
With big old udders sticking out.
Uh-huh. There's something nice about there's something retro about a game that's just like, nah, we're gonna put your character in a stupid costume and you're
Yep.
gonna enjoy it because it's about running around and hitting stuff.
Yep. Yes. Go cow power. So, yeah, there's your dairy bastard costume.
Okay, okay.
Um all right. He also added, AC Wraith, this link. It's from Kotaku. Multiple Mecha Chameleon Steam Workshop maps got infected
Oh,
with malware and its Discord server was hacked.
so yeah, Mecha Chameleon is like a hot new indie game that took off over the past month or so. Um, but it also has, like you were saying, a lot of imitators. And it looks like one of the things about Mecha Chameleon is that it's a game about like you have a little stick figure and you hide them in the environment and then you can paint the stick figure. And
Mhm.
so you use that to hide in the environment like a chameleon does. Um, but you can download different maps for it. And so the game has a huge community of, user generated maps that can run from everything from Simpsons to Elden Ring to just other, you know, art showcases.
Mhm.
Uh, and so apparently some of those maps were infested with malware. And so the Mecha Chameleon and its Discord were hacked with the malware.
Ugh,
That really sucks.
that does suck.
Yeah, I feel like there's
Mm.
so much potential in user generated things, but also one bad apple.
Mhm.
One bad apple can really fuck things up.
Yeah. I mean, I would happily go to utter devastation. Very good advice. I can't believe I missed that one. Um I I uh I would happily subscribe to, especially now that I have a Steam machine, I would happily subscribe to a service that had guaranteed malware-free, easy indexing, easy install of mods, and I would mod a whole lot more games. I'm afraid of mods. And rightly so. I'm a little afraid of mods. I'm downloading, like I download something onto my PlayStation. It's coming from PlayStation Network. I know it's safe. But moreover, if there were malware, heaven forbid, on something on PlayStation, the worst that it would do is fuck up my PlayStation.
Yeah.
Download something onto my PC, and it could fuck up my life. Like literally fuck my total life because all of my information is on my PC somewhere. So having that level of security, especially if they can, guarantee that they've gone through it, it is malware free, and I can find it easily and not have to go, is it this one or is it this one? Is it this one? Is it this one? I have to look and see who wrote it. Then I have to research who wrote it. Has he done other things? What are the reviews before I download it? Even then, I'm like,
Well, also you
I
could
don't feel
if
necessarily good
you're
about
if
this.
you're downloading it to a Steam machine, you can also just be assured that if there is some malware in it, again, all it does is affect the Steam
The Steam
machine.
machine, right. It air gaps my laptop with all of my information about my life and my work and all of my no, it doesn't have my passwords, but still, yeah, my banking information and all of my contacts and everybody I've ever emailed and enough stuff that you could do some real
Hey, see,
fucking damage.
back in my day, we took our chances downloading Doom mods from FTP servers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, back in my day, I used to take my chances downloading music off of Napster.
Oh yeah, I did that all the time.
all the time. LimeWire.
Kazaa.
Yeah. And I did it. You know why I did it with absolute impunity? Because I had a Mac and nobody wrote viruses for Macs because nobody
Mm.
used Macs. Everybody, as long as I had a PC, I never
he said
ran any virus scans on anything. Didn't need to.
he says on dial up.
On dial
Both
up.
ways.
In the snow.
So yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So that's all the stories. I think that's all the stories I have. Do I have any more stories? Oh, no, I have one more story. Eh, sort of bummer story to end on. Sorry.
Okay. I have a funny,
Okay,
sad,
good,
minor story to end on.
good, good. Um, let's see,
Then you
where
want to
is
end
it?
it?
Yeah, no, you end it. I'll give the slightly sucky story. So,
Okay.
you know that EA was in the process of selling itself to Saudi and Jared Kushner's a venture capital group partially owned by Jared Kushner,
Yeah.
uh, Donald Trump's son-in-law, and that was very much hurry up and let's get it done because come November 2026, we might not be able to do this anymore. Well, the hurry up has worked. The EA sale has, unsurprisingly, received all regulatory approvals required for the sale. That sale is expected to go through next week, August 4th.
Hmm.
So the EA is currently expects the merger to close on or about the close of trading on August 4th, which means it will no longer be a public company. It will be a private company owned by a investment division of the Saudi government and a venture capital group owned partially by the President of the United States son-in-law. There was very little question that this wasn't going to happen given the political bend of all the regulatory agencies within the current administration. So the new owners are officially going to be Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, Silver
Okay.
Lake Partners, which is
Yeah, Jared
uh,
Kushner's thing.
no, Affinity Partners. That's the private equity firm owned by, and it actually is owned by Jared Kushner outright.
No.
So the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Firm (PIF) has been actively buying up shares in video game companies like EA, Nintendo, Activision, Blizzard, Take-Two, and a bunch of other ones. It fully purchased Monopoly Go maker Scopely and Pokemon Go developer Niantic. So all your information now belongs to them. Saudi government knows where I'm walking
Oh,
every
your
single day now.
information.
Yeah, true.
Now that you start playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah. So this is going to be the second largest acquisition in all of video games, barring the Activision Blizzard purchase by Microsoft back in 2023. So on top of that, once this happens, because it is now private, we will no longer be able to see financial information on EA
Oh yeah,
until
like for example, the fact that the CEO got paid like an extra $38 million because of how well Battlefield 6 did, even after they laid off some of the people working on Battlefield 6 because of how well Battlefield 6 did.
right.
So, yeah, now they won't have to share that information with us.
Now, as for what's going to happen with EA, reportedly, the CEO, Andrew Wilson, is expected to stay in place. That's not going to change. It's still going to be headquartered in California, right down the street from me. Beyond that, we have no idea how this is going to impact thousands of employees of EA that are around the world right now. Um, so, uh, and it was not 38 million, it was just 8 million. Just only 8 million, Nick. Don't overreact. It was just $8 million bonus he got. So yeah, officially as of next week. And this, mark my word, this was very much a hurry up kind of situation
Hmm.
because given November that the political um the political bend of the administration, current US government administration, might be significantly different. So they needed to get this through now while there was a regime in place that was open to the idea of the president's son-in-law making one of the biggest video game purchases in history and obtaining very quickly. If you recall how long it took for Microsoft to purchase Activision,
Yeah, that took years.
years. It
Literal.
took
Literal.
years to get through all of the approvals. And that was an American corporation purchasing an American company. This is a foreign corporation, and all of the information now available to them on Americans going to a foreign corporation and questionably a member of the family of the current president. So I would say that this is one of those situations where this would have not happened before or after this
No,
moment
this
in
is
history.
like Andrew Wilson looking to check out. You know, he
Yeah.
gets a check and then he doesn't have
Well,
to do
I don't
anything.
think Andrew Wilson has a single say in this. The only people that had a say in this were the shareholders, the majority shareholders
Well, I'm
being,
pretty sure Andrew Wilson pushed for it because he's the CEO.
yeah,
He
yeah.
can
He
agree
wasn't
to it.
he wasn't against it, let's just say. And now, that being said, let's play devil's advocate. In this case, very much devil's advocate in the literal sense. EA being a private company, they are no longer now beholden to shareholders to make money year over year. They're not, it's one of the things that I have railed against is public ownership of companies simply because they can't make the nimble decisions that a reasonable business person would make because they're worried about stock price.
Hmm.
This removes that element. This could be, I mean,
Nope.
it's bad for
Nope.
us as far as private citizens, but this
Yes.
could be
Nope.
a very good
Nope.
time for EA eventually,
Nope.
simply because they do. That's not, you can't say that. You
Yes, I
can't
can.
say that.
Yes, I
They could
can.
take a loss on a game that shareholders might not. They could take risks that
Nope.
shareholders wouldn't stand for.
Nope. No, they
No,
cannot because
private equity.
they're being bought by private equity. They're
True.
not going private. They're being bought by what is
Private
basically
equity.
private equity firm. They're being all of the debt that Saudi Arabia took on to pay for this is on EA's shoulders. So they are now under more pressure to make more money and more like profit than they
True.
ever have in the past.
But
They've already
they
said,
could take bigger risks though.
but they won't. They
No,
won't. The company
you're right.
month
I'm trying to be
years
on it. I'm trying to be neutral here. I'm trying to use my journalistic ethics to be neutral, to point out some that's not entirely
you know
doom
what?
and gloom, but it sort of is.
Use the journalistic knowledge to make a realistic prediction. Neutrality is overrated. Nothing's neutral. Give up on it. Neutrality is a lie.
Well,
Um,
I like to see all facets of it, you know.
but yeah, all facets mean that you can't be neutral because then you realize, yeah, this fucking sucks. That's
Yeah.
the fact. Um, but years ago, EA had said what Xbox is saying now. Oh, we have a lot of issues. We're going to just focus on our core franchises. So they've kind of already started going down the path of, tightening their belts. And that's why you see today, I think they have 5 games coming out this year. 4 of them are annual sports franchises. And one of them is the XCOM Star Wars game, which it does admittedly look kind of cool, but it's also a Star Wars game. It's here's a licensed product. 4 annual franchises, annual sports franchises, and a licensed Star Wars game.
Yeah.
That's EA. They
Yeah.
do not have the people. They don't have the structure. They don't I think some ex BioWare guy was like, if we had pitched Dragon Age to EA now, it wouldn't get greenlit. If you
Mm-mm.
pitch Mass Effect now, it wouldn't get greenlit.
Mm-mm.
I think EA does not have the capability to take risks because there's no one at that company that would pitch a game outside of anything that would be risky. No, we're gonna make licensed games and we're gonna make sports games. Look at this is why I'm like I don't think any of Asha's plans will come to fruition for Xbox. Ubisoft has said the same thing. We're going through a tight time period. We're going to tighten our belt, lay off a bunch of people, focus on our core franchises. How many games do we have coming out this year? 2. And both of them are remakes.
Yeah.
I feel
Well,
like that's the future of Xbox is
yeah. Well, I think that that's the future of a lot of companies right now.
that's the future of a lot of
Because
companies. Yes.
it is an economically unstable time, and the world economy is struggling because people are not paid enough, and if you don't put money in consumers' hands, they stop buying things like video games because they can't afford rent and food. I think that all companies are doing that right now. It is a retreat to safety. And I don't necessarily blame private equity. I don't blame shareholders for that. That is just a smart thing to be doing. I'm not private equity. I'm retreating to safe stocks right now because I anticipate we know there's something's gonna happen. Something's gonna burn down. We all know it's gonna burn down. We just don't know when. So we're moving our money to and making our decisions based on it's something the wheels are gonna come off. We know it. We know it. We're not gonna stop the wheels from coming off. Nobody wants to do that because it will cost us more money to do it, and we can't guarantee that the wheels won't come off anyway. So we're just going to retreat to safety. That is a universal in all business right now, with the
Hmm.
exception of AI. And to be honest, AI is the reason why everybody's retreating to safety because they're
Yes.
going to blow up. Every everybody knows it's going to fall apart.
And so that
Nobody can stop it. So we're getting our money and doing things, making plans based on shit going bad very soon.
that retreat to safety coupled with being saddled by a bunch of debt from the purchase, EA is in no position to take any risks.
No, no company is. Ubisoft is not in a position to
But
take
like
any
but
risks.
EA especially. Like
Oh yeah.
so that's why you're going to see 4 annual sports franchises and 1 licensed game coming out of
Mhm.
EA for
Mhm.
the next decade.
Yeah,
I
and
I
those
don't think
sports franchises are
we
going
will
to be
see another Mass
focused.
Effect.
No,
They've talked
not for a
about
while.
Mass Effect 4. They've said it's in development. I don't believe it.
Mm-mm, it's not. And you're going to see these franchises focusing primarily on licenses that also benefit their owners. Remember, the Saudi government also owns FIFA. That same investment fund owns FIFA. So you're going to
Did they
see
buy
a
FIFA?
lot.
I thought they just talked about that.
No, they bought it.
I wonder if we'll see EA FIFA again, since now they're under the same ownership, or if it'll still be EA FC.
They
That would be
might they might
hmm.
they might renew the license with themselves.
That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, that's just good, makes good business sense. If that's what LucasArts did. It owned Star Wars and it made Star Wars games. It's,
Oh
you
no,
know,
FIFA has not been bought by Saudi Arabia.
oh, I thought they did.
They've deepened their ties with
Yeah.
a $1 billion global football deal, but they don't own it.
Yeah. Okay. So they don't own it, but they've got a stake in it.
Yeah.
It benefits them to spotlight FIFA.
So if FIFA wants to like play nice with Saudi Arabia, they could make a deal with EA and say, "Hey, we'll put FIFA back on the title again."
I think that that's
Mm,
I think that is without question going to happen.
interesting.
Without question. Um, I also there we go. AC Wraith, you ready for your predictions? I predict that you are going to see more investment into sports teams from the Saudi government. I think that if that Saudi investment fund could also purchase the NFL, it would, or the
Hmm.
MLB, or the NBA. That they're going to look for league ownership or
Or team
material
ownership.
ownership. Team ownership, not so much because you only get a small amount of it. Although I could absolutely see that they wouldn't be adverse to owning the Dodgers right now. But why would you own the team when you can own the league? The league is the one that does the licensing. The league that would get the money for the licensing and have their interest, have their value increased by having a video game on it.
True. Though I feel like a league is harder to buy. A team would face less pushback.
A team would face absolutely a team would face less pushback, but there's no synergy. There's no financial synergy between the two, whereas a league would. You're going to see Saudi investments into other major sports leagues across the world. The WNBA, they could get that on the cheap. You will start seeing interest in it from the NFL. If they aren't already there, they will increase their stake. You will see it in NHL. You will see it in NBA, especially in the NBA. You will see it in the MLB. Mm-hmm. You'll see it in pickleball if they could get away with it. If they thought they could make a buck on it, they would do it.
Oh, that's the league gotta buy. Buy before it gets big. Make
Oh,
pickleball the
it's
next big
already big.
American pastime.
Freaking pickle. When Netflix is doing a show based on pickleball, you know it's already arrived, dude.
Are they? What's the show?
It was like all over, or is it Apple? It's Apple TV. Apple TV just released a pickleball show. What is it called? It is
Apple
called The Dink.
pickleball show?
It's called The Dink. It just came out. Let's see. The description is Dusty the Hammer Boyd, a washed-up tennis pro, could really use a win. On a quest to save a struggling country club and earn his father's respect, Dusty breaks a sacred vow and does the unthinkable. He plays pickleball.
Huh. That's got Jake Johnson. I like him.
Yeah,
Hmm. Okay.
pickleball is already that train left the station.
I could watch that.
Um, Ted Lasso. Mm, cannot wait. You watched Ted Lasso, right?
Yeah. And it had a
Okay,
good
thank God.
ending.
Yeah,
It
and now it's
ended.
back. I can't
Just
wait.
just let things end. Let
Well,
things
they
end.
they had let it end. But then
Mm-hmm.
they started like, and I don't think it was a cash grab. They genuinely said, you know what, we realize there's more story here. And
Mm.
with the interest in women's club soccer increasing more than it ever has ever in the UK, I think that they saw that as like, okay, we could do this. We could do this. I just hope that they have a different story to tell. It was
Yeah.
so beautiful and pure before. I hope that they don't blow it. I really hope they don't blow it because it was so perfect and pure and right where it needed to be. Anyway, Any other stories or any other articles or anything else we want to talk about before we close out the
That's all
show?
for me. That's all I got.
All right. Um, so next week we will be back noon Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. If you have not dropped a like or a subscribe or both, especially a both, subscribe. Do it right now. It would make us happy. Yay! Also, what are you going to be playing next week, Nick?
Um, well, I've already played a bunch of games this week that I'll keep talking about for next week. The Front
Mm-hmm.
Mission, Stellar Blade. I've gone back to start playing that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, Front Mission game on the emulator. I started playing my emulator.
Ooh. AC Wraith pointed out, he said, check out the charity bundle called Game Industry Hardship Fund. It's
Hmm.
$10 for 127 items, and there's some really nice stuff in there. You can find it on itch.io. Um, and, you know, again, AC Wraith being the MVP of this freaking podcast, if you want to find good deals, go onto our Discord. That we have a section of for game deals, and AC Wraith finds some amazing deals and pops them up there. Now he finds them from other sources, but he aggregates them all into one place, so you can just stay on the Discord, get notifications, and it will pop up on your phone that says, "Hey, something's on sale right now," or "There's a really good deal on this right now." And because he's looking at these things, he's not just putting up every crap that's out there. That's the problem with a lot of like these Twitter feeds, is they're just throwing up everything. AC Wraith is actually pointing out good games and good deals. So he's actually using his brain, not AI, to identify the best deals out there. So again, if you are interested, join our Discord. There's the information on the bottom of the page, and keep the notifications on, especially on the game deals channel within there. Um, let's see, mostly free stuff and historically high Steam discounts. That's what he puts up. So if you're looking to save money and not have your game flow wrecked, get onto our Discord and check out that channel within the GameHounds Discord. Once again, there is another link for it right there. Both of those links, they're different links. One of them is older than the others. But yeah, that's it right there on the website. And if you're listening to this as a podcast, wherever the description is, there's our Discord information. And if you don't feel like actually looking it up, just look up GameHounds on Discord. You'll find us. All right. So without further ado, Nick, let's close out the show. What do you say?
Yeah.
Okay, let's close this out. You've been listening to GameHounds. GameHounds episode, what episode is it? 827. We recorded this on Sunday, August 2nd, 2026. I've been Edie Sellers. With me has been Nick DiNicola. Ways to get a hold of us. GameHounds.net is our website. GameHounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live every Sunday at noon Pacific. It's been years and I still do it. Noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. On Facebook and Twitch, we are The GameHounds. On YouTube, we're GameHounds Vids, VIDS, as in videos. Please look us up. If you were any of those places, please like and subscribe and leave us some feedback. Leave a comment in the comment section. Tell us what you want us to review. Tell us what news items you want us to talk about. Tell us when we're wrong. Just leave us some comments in the comment section. Deeply appreciated. Now, we also do this as an audio podcast if you want to just listen to us in the car while you're driving. Our podcast can be found on Apple Podcasts under GameHounds Podcast. Just if you listen there, subscribe to us. And also, do us a favor. Leave us some feedback there. If you love the podcast, if you hate the podcast, either way, give us a 5-star, give us a 4-star, give us a 1-star. However you see us, and if you have any feedback on how to improve the show or things that you would like to see on the show, leave us that there as well. Now, if you want to help keep us on the air and going into our 19th year, go ahead and go to our Patreon site, patreon.com/GameHounds. That's where you can give us, you can become our patron. We're not asking a lot. We don't put stuff behind subscription walls. All we do is ask for $1 a month, $1 a month. If 20 of you did that, it would make such a difference. So if you have an extra $1 a month to spend to help us keep this show going into its 20th year, feel free. Patreon.com/GameHounds. And I guess that's it. Of course, we already mentioned our Discord a million times. Please come see us on our Discord. Nick and I talk on there all the time. If you ever want to find out what's going on with us and what I'm complaining about in very graphic detail, go to our Discord. Nick, have a great week. Thank you so much. AC Wraith, again, thank you for being so awesome with all the links and comments and the links to everything we've talked about in the comment section of all those locations. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye. All right. That's it. That's all I got.
All right.
I got two. I'll share it with you on the podcast. I got 2 dead dogs. Dead dog number 1. Dead dog number 2. You can't really see her over the thing, but yeah,
they look happy.
Dead. Dead dogs. Oh, and that will go. As soon as I said dead dogs, both heads went up. But he doesn't wake up so great.
What's going on?
No, he's got that like.
I sympathize.
He's got that. Did you wake me up? What's going on? Who are you? I don't know where I am. It's too much. So, all right. The downstairs neighbor has stopped playing music, which is great.
Good.
Yeah. At least he or she is. We had a conversation before the show about how the downstairs
at least it doesn't
neighbor,
last for 2 hours.
No, and it lasted for a couple of hours, but it's at least goes off at a certain point. It doesn't stay on all day. Maybe it's just when he or she is cleaning or something, but that's at least the Sunday morning thing. If this becomes a weeknight thing, I'm definitely going to be like, hi, you need to move your subwoofer because it's going right through the walls and into my floors. It's shaking my whole place. You need to turn down the subwoofer, or better yet, let's see if we can find a place to isolate it so you can enjoy the bass, but I don't have to enjoy it through my floors. All right. AC Wraith, I missed you. It was good to talk to you. And by the way, everyone who was commiserating with me as if you were on the Discord, you saw the struggle in real time. I want you to know.
You going through your midlife crisis?
Mm-hmm. You were the only thing sometimes that kept me sane. I was holding on to my phone for dear life. So Ezio and I think Vice, Andy was on there, that were just commiserating with me and laughing about it. Even if it was just laughing about it and making a funny comment, I felt like I wasn't completely isolated and alone going through my own personal hell. Because there were days. I mean, I'm not lying. I ended up crying one night, like just crying, saying, I can't do this. I can't do this. So it was tough. It was really, really tough. I owe you a debt of gratitude for keeping me remotely sane, because it was something special. For some days were very dark. Let's just say they were very, very dark days. You kept the light on, and I really, really appreciate that. So thank you. How many times has this freaking show saved my life, metaphorically, and a couple of times quite literally, when it was in the really darkest times. So, to all of you listening, thank you. You've been my friends here for going now on 20 years, and you're the best friends I ever had. Thank you.
Yeah,
So,
we'll always
everyone,
be here.
well, you always. We're
And everyone
we're
else.
we're joined at the hip. We're never
We'll
going
always
away
be
from each
here.
other. Yeah. Everyone, have a great week. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.